Knicks versus the Pacers. Now, here's Monica McNutt, and with the play-by-play, here's Pat O'Keefe on the MSG Radio Network.
And tonight in Indiana, the Knicks are looking for one more win in this second-round series and looking to punch their ticket to the Eastern Conference Finals. Standing in their way once again, the Indiana Pacers on their home court, where they haven't lost a game since March 18th. Hello, everyone. Pat O'Keefe, joined by my partner, Monica McNutt. Knicks lead the series 3-2, Monica. They were able to regain control on Tuesday in a 30-point win at Madison Square Garden, led by another virtuoso performance by Jalen Brunson.
Yes, and as much as Jalen Brunson deserves the headlines, as now he is of the ilk of Michael Jordan with 40-point games in a postseason run, I gotta admit, Pat, when I went back to watch that game and looked at the box score, I laughed at the fact that the Knicks outscored the Pacers bench for as much as depth has been a conversation in this one. And so Jalen Brunson was terrific, but it was TTE, a total team effort that allowed this team to take the edge in the series.
Especially considering their best scorer off the bench in the playoffs was moved into the starting lineup, and that was a big factor in the Knicks' performance. Deuce McBride making his first career playoff start, a huge factor on both ends of the floor.
He was terrific. We talk a lot about Deuce's defense, but I think it's his complete understanding of what his team needs from him as a starter that should not go underrated. That is combining making smart decisions offensively, setting great screens in Game 5, and of course, dogging Tyrese Halliburton as a defender. He did a great job of all of those things, and he comes into this one with confidence and belief from his teammates, which he credits for his ability to stay ready throughout the season.
17 points for McBride at his starting assignment. He's back in the starting lineup again tonight. Now, with McBride in the starting five, that means the Knicks went smaller. Despite that, they were absolutely dominant on the boards, out-rebounding the Pacers 53-29.
I had a coach that used to tell me, Pat, rebound is nothing but a wanted stat. And the Knicks wanted it much, much more than the Pacers did back at the Garden. But with that in mind, they understand, they being the Pacers, that was what Rick Carlisle called a total failure from the coaching staff down to the players. And so here at home, they have been notably better defensively and in terms of their rebounding percentage. So they will come out with a level of focus tonight that will be undeniable.
Isaiah Hartenstein leading the rebounding effort with 17 boards overall, 12 of them on the offensive glass. So you have the Pacers tonight. Their backs are to the wall. They lose tonight, their season is over. They're very tough in this building. We saw that in Game 4. They built a 43-point lead. They won the game by 32, and they are still unbeaten here in the postseason.
Home is where the heart is, as they say. Now listen, the beauty of this situation is that the Knicks still have one more game that happens to be at the Garden. However, you don't have to question whether the Knicks are going to be prepared or whether they're going to be willing to play tough. I continue to impress upon people how much of an outlier Game 4 was here because their tanks were genuinely empty. Coming off of 2 days rest, they understand that Tyrese Halliburton is looking to be aggressive, that Miles Turner will be looking to match up on the glass in terms of rebounding and make his presence felt in a big way, as will Pascal Siakam, and Aaron Nesmith is probably rejuvenated to guard Jalen Brunson. The Knicks know all of those things are coming, and the Pacers should be bringing them because that is the beauty of competition.
Tyrese Halliburton looking for a bounce-back performance tonight. He was held to 13 points on 9 field goal attempts in Game 5 on Tuesday night. As for the Knicks, that rebounding advantage, 20-5 edge on the offensive glass, 26-9 in second chance points. A dominant effort across the board for the Knicks in Game 5, putting them on the precipice of reaching the Eastern Conference Finals. Before we get to the starting lineups and the opening tip, let's send it down courtside inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse for opening festivities and our national anthem.
Serving our country as the IMPD Chiefs Honor Guard presents our nation's colors and join in the singing of the national anthem, performed this evening by Indiana native singer-songwriter Jenny DeVoe.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Full house here in Indy for Game 6, Knicks and Pacers. Knicks lead the series 3-2. Starting lineups, Pacers 47-35 during the regular season, the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference, including the playoffs, 31-15 at home. They are 5-0 here in the postseason. Tyrese Halliburton, 6'4", fourth-year point guard out of Iowa State. A quiet Game 5, as mentioned, with 13 points on 9 field goal attempts, but he's averaging 21.5 points per game in this series. Andrew Nembhard, 6'4", second-year guard out of Gonzaga, one of 6 Pacers averaging in double figures scoring this series, and he has at least 3 assists in all 11 of Indiana's playoff games this year. Aaron Nesmith, 6'6", fourth year out of Vanderbilt, the former Celtics first-round draft pick, averaging 10 points a game in the playoffs, but just 8.8 points in this series. Pascal Siakam, 6'8", eighth-year out of New Mexico State, an NBA champion with the Toronto Raptors in 2019. In Game 5, Siakam had 22 points and 8 rebounds. And Miles Turner in the middle, 6'11", ninth-year center out of Texas, shooting 48% from three-point range in this series. And he and Dante DiVincenzo received double technical fouls for their third-quarter confrontation in Game 5 on Tuesday. The head coach of the Pacers, Rick Carlisle, an NBA champion himself with the 2011 Dallas Mavericks. And the Knicks, the record of 50-32 during the regular season, the number 2 seed in the East. On the road, including the playoffs, 25 wins, 21 losses. They're 2-3 away from the Garden in the playoffs. Led by Jalen Brunson, 6'2", sixth year out of Villanova, at 44 points in Game 5, his 5th 40-point game of these playoffs, 6th 40-point game as a Knick in the playoffs, and the 7th of his entire career. Miles Deuce McBride, 6'2", third-year guard out of West Virginia, a huge lift in his first career playoff start Tuesday with 17 points. He knocked down 3 three-pointers, played 40 minutes, and hounding defense against Tyrese Halliburton. Dante DiVincenzo, 6'5", sixth-year out of Villanova. Last 2 games, just 15 total points. But for the series, DiVincenzo is still shooting 43% from downtown. Josh Hart, 6'4", seventh year out of Villanova, another double-double, his 7th of this postseason with 18 points and 11 rebounds in Game 5. And in the middle, Isaiah Hartenstein, 7'1", sixth year from Germany, 12 offensive rebounds in Game 5, 17 rebounds overall as the Knicks dominated the glass under head coach Tom Thibodeau, who now has a record of 14-13 in the playoffs as the head coach of the New York Knicks. So there you have it, same starters for both teams as we had the other night in game number 5. And Monica, Jalen Brunson just had a different look from the beginning of that game number 5. Games 3 and 4, after he suffered that foot injury in Game 2, He shot 37% from the field in this building. But on Tuesday night, bounced back in a big way, making 51% of his shots.
He's just so patient. And I'll be honest, you guys know I was away from Game 5 with WNBA coverage, but the way that it was being discussed, I would have thought that the Knicks blew the Pacers off the floor from the jump. And the first quarter was actually a very competitive outing, particularly with the Pacers being able to find some efficiency early on. But Jalen Brunson is not going to be deterred whether a game is a blowout early or whether it's tight. He's going to continue, as we say, to chop wood and carry water. But it is his leadership that has propelled this team. And Deuce McBride told us earlier today that he's done a great job of communicating with his teammates to make sure that everyone is on the same page and understand what the moment requires.
Pacers jumped out to a 16-9 lead at the beginning of game number 1. The Knicks were able to turn things around coming out of a timeout. Our officiating crew, Zach Zarba is the crew chief, works with John Goebel and David Guthrie for this game number 6. And the opening tip is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the brand new Tullamore Dew Honey during tonight's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. The Knicks are back in their Association Edition uniforms. Their home whites, if you will, white with New York in orange across the chest and the Knicks logo on the left leg. And the Pacers, once again, as they have been for the entire series, wearing their Statement Edition uniforms. They're yellow with a navy blue diagonal stripe down the right side above a white panel with Indiana in navy across the chest. So here we go. Isaiah Hartenstein, 17 rebounds on Tuesday. Miles Turner, and the opening tip is controlled by the Pacers in the backcourt, scooped up by Pascal Siakam, who brings it into the paint, to the basket, short off the rim, and the rebound bounces into the hands of McBride. Wants to sprint coast to coast, kicks it back out into no man's land, stolen by Siakam. A 3-on-2 for the Pacers. Nembhard to Halliburton on the left wing, and now Nesmith up top. Pacers get into their offense. It's Brunson guarding Halliburton, sends it into the right corner. Siakam, one dribble, bounces out. Nesmith, right side three, too strong off the back of the rim. Nesmith has the rebound bounce out to him. Gives to Halliburton. He fires away from downtown and knocks it down. The Pacers lead 3-0.
Matching turnovers to start this ball game, and then it's the Pacers coming up with the second chance opportunities via offensive rebounds that allows Tyrese Halliburton to see the ball go to the net early.
Hartenstein hands to DiVincenzo, takes it baseline, kicks it out for McBride, passes on the open look, gives it back to DiVincenzo. His three is in and out, and it falls to the floor. Hartenstein taps it, but it's picked up by Siakam. Siakam drives at Hart, kicks it into the right corner. Nembhard back up top. Halliburton, same spot. That one's no good. Siakam battling inside. It's knocked out of bounds off of the Pacers.
Early on, a little bit of miscommunication between the Knicks. Josh Hart is pointing at Tyrese Halliburton on the right side wing, taking his second three and kind of looking at his teammates like, who's supposed to be out there? That second look was entirely too wide open. The Knicks need to do a better job of communicating and matching their assignments.
First look was a good look. Second look, to your point, a great look that he missed. Just over a minute gone by. Knicks trail 3-0. Brunson, ball in his hands. Cut off by Halliburton. Bounce pass right wing for McBride. Brings it to the foul line. Pops a high arcing jumper. In and out. Turner taps the rebound to Halliburton. The Knicks still looking for their first points. Nembhard on the right wing. Crossover dribble inside the paint. Reverse layup is good. And it's 5-0 Indy.
The Knicks had given up 60 points in the paint throughout this series until Game 5, where they limited the Pacers to just 36. Points in the paint is going to be a key tonight.
Brunson gets a step, takes it all the way to the basket. Layup is good, and the Knicks are on the board, trailing 5-2.
Among those scorers in the paint, Jalen Brunson is one of the best
at any position. Knicks down 3. Here's Nembhard towards the foul line. Stops his dribble. Pops the 14-foot jumper too strong. Turner taps the rebound, but it's taken by Brunson. Quick outlet pass to Hart along the right-hand side. Cuts to the middle, and he's bumped and fouled by Siakam with 9:54 to go in the first, and the Knicks trailing 5-2.
A couple of folks signaling for a take foul on that one, which certainly would be ideal. However, it is playoff basketball, and Siakam is trying to stop Josh Hart on the right side of the floor, looking to attack in transition.
So the Knicks will inbound, front court, right-hand side. Brunson gives to McBride and gets it right back. Brunson from the foul line pulls up 14-foot jumper, front rim, and it drops in, and the Knicks trail 5-4.
The patience of Jalen Brunson on display already.
Lob pass underneath. Siakam got free. Layup is good. Off the glass. 7-4 Pacers. Knicks also looking like they got away with a foul on that play.
I was going to say, Josh Hart is very fortunate that was just a basket and not an and-one play.
Could have been a three-point play. 7-4 Pacers, 9:24 to go in the first. McBride, right wing, finds Hartenstein, holding the ball over his head. Brunson trying to get free. Neesmith guards him. Here's McBride now, working from the top of the arc, gets open, fires a three, knocks it down, and we're tied at 7.
Early on, the Pacers' strategy is very clear. No, somebody other than Jalen Brunson is going to have to beat us.
Neesmith tied up by Hart, gets the pass off to Siakam. Good ball movement around the perimeter. Nembhard pulls up on the right elbow, front rim, no good. Rebound tapped, taken by Neesmith on the right baseline. Dribbles out of trouble, gives to Nembhard. Crossover dribble in the paint. Floater over Hart is good.
So the Knicks are struggling to get matched up on second chance opportunities. Offensive rebounds have sent them into a tizzy in terms of matching up defensively.
Second field goal for Andrew Nembhard. Knicks trail 9-7. 8:35 to go in the first. Brunson left side of the arc, loses his defender, in and out on the three-point attempt. Halliburton the rebound. Halliburton in the front court, picked up by McBride. Brings it center and now passes right side. Neesmith fakes the three, drives, loses the handle, picked up by DiVincenzo. Numbers for the Knicks. McBride on the left wing, gives it back to DiVincenzo, who fires away off the back of the rim. Long rebound to Halliburton, and here come the Pacers.
Even though DiVincenzo misses that, that's a good play.
Siakam drives right at Hartenstein, turn around in the paint, short on the jumper. Loose ball picked up by McBride. Dribbles around Halliburton in the front court. Steps through the lane and kicks it out. Right wing Brunson, now a cross-court pass. DiVincenzo, no hesitation that time. In and out, another rebound for Turner.
DiVincenzo's got to keep letting those fly. He can knock those down.
0 for 3 so far. Siakam down the lane, no good. Play continues. DiVincenzo, the ball in the front court. Has McBride behind him. DiVincenzo right to the basket. In the left corner now for Brunson up top. Hart drives the lane. Nice feed. DiVincenzo's baseline floater is good, and we're tied at 9.
Good to see Dante DiVincenzo get the lid off the basket with that little floater on the baseline. Great ball movement from the Knicks, even though they're getting opportunities in transition.
Halliburton drives around McBride. His pass deflected into the hands of Neesmith. Nembhard fakes an open three, puts it on the floor, down the lane, Euro step off the glass and in. Andrew Nembhard has 6 points, and the Pacers lead by 2.
He's been able to be a beneficiary of the ball moving around the perimeter and the Knicks having to close out on a little bit of a scramble.
Brunson inside the paint, now with the dribble, takes it to the left wing. One-on-one, fires a three over Siakam. Front rim, no. Rebounded by Turner. Not a lot of whistles so far. Pacers a 9-4 rebounding advantage. Siakam got good position. The basket went in, but it does not count. The foul occurred against the Knicks on the floor, much to the chagrin of this sold-out crowd.
This is a good call, though. Deuce McBride knows he gives up size. He's got his hand in there on the catch for Pascal Siakam, operating on that right block. A couple things, though, Pat, early in this ballgame as we've got a timeout on the floor. The Pacers, we've seen them body Jalen Brunson from baseline to baseline. They're sending a soft double team based on Deuce McBride trying to screen for Jalen Brunson. Tyrese Halliburton is hanging around. They're sort of forcing the ball out of his hands. So far, it looks like anybody not named Jalen Brunson can have the opportunity to beat us. Now, McBride has done a good job so far with 3 points and a couple of good looks of taking advantage of that decision.
We've got 6:58 to go in the first quarter. The Pacers lead the Knicks 11-9 here in game number 6. You're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
It's the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event. So give your friends something to look at, like a B&B with an ocean view, an endless field of wildflowers, or a sunset that needs no filter. Make this a summer to share and save with a capable Kia SUV or powerful sedan. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more. Kia, movement that inspires. Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Sale applies to purchase of specially tagged 2024 vehicles only. Quantities are limited. Must take delivery by 7/8/24.
Knicks fans, when deciding to take a charter bus, there's only one choice. That's Best Trails and Travel, New York City's premier charter bus company. Best Trails and Travel has the highest level of charter bus service in New York City and has been servicing New York's leading corporations, professional sports teams, and private individuals for over 25 years. They offer premium customer service and the newest fleet of buses in the industry. Whether you're traveling with family, friends, or colleagues, Best Trails and Travel guarantees you the ultimate travel experience. Visit them at besttrailstravel.com or call them at 212-206-6969. 888-848-7274.
Want to stay cool for the next 2 summers without spending a penny? Slomin's has the AC offer of the century. Get 18 months with 0 payments and 0 interest. That's right. You don't need to make any payments for 18 months. Plus, Slomin's offers next day installation. Get an AC system installed as early as tomorrow with no payments for 18 months interest-free. Call 516-932-7000 to get your free estimate. That's 516-932-7000.
18-month promo period. No payment, no interest, and no down payment offer. This offer is available through a third-party bank. On approved credit, interest is waived if loan is repaid in full during the same as cash period. Terms and conditions apply.
New York Presbyterian gives you the healthcare choices you want, like over 450 locations in Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, and Westchester. Virtual care that lets you connect with us digitally. World-class doctors from Columbia and Weill Cornell Medicine. And Health Matters, an online source for the latest health and wellness topics and tips. Experience extraordinary healthcare when and where you need it. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian. Restrictions apply.
Back here in Indiana, 6:58 to go in the first quarter, and the Pacers lead the Knicks 11-9. It'll be Pacers ball when we return to action after the foul on the floor against Deuce McBride, fouling Pascal Siakam. Now, Monica, one early trend that, at least up until now, is a reversal of last game. The Pacers with a 9-4 advantage on the glass and a 3-0 edge in terms of offensive rebounds.
Yeah, excuse me. Some of that so far is just a little bit of the home energy and adrenaline for the Pacers, right? They got a couple rebounds earlier that I thought were good rebounds. Other than that, they're the beneficiary of the ball bouncing their way. But what those second chance points have done is thrown off the Knicks defense just enough that Andrew Nembhard has been able to attack on the right side and got into the lane 3 consecutive times. Excuse me. Yes, Andrew Nembhard.
Yes, he does. He has 6 points to lead the way. Pacers ball out of the timeout. Turner drives and slams it down on Isaiah Hartenstein as he got a step down the lane and the foul. Well, there's a statement coming out of the timeout for Miles Turner.
It's a terrific take, and Isaiah Hartenstein is usually so much smarter when guys are attacking at the rim.
Turner trying to finish the three-point play. Front rim, no. Hart battling for the rebound, but it's taken by Siakam, who falls to the floor and is fouled by Josh Hart. And now Hart goes down to one knee. He appears to be in some discomfort.
I think he caught an elbow to the gut on this tie-up.
He's holding his stomach as Precious Achiuwa gets up off the Knicks bench. The foul against Hart on the floor, but it's the third team foul against the Knicks. Hart's going to leave the game. Achiuwa comes on and immediately walks over to guard Pascal Siakam, sending Hartenstein to pick up Turner. So Pacers ball. Turner off the inbound, top of the arc, hands to Nembhard. Nembhard tries to drive, finds Turner, foul line jumper, no good. Achiuwa just into the game, grabs the rebound.
Dante DiVincenzo tried to block that shot from behind and took a little spill, but he's up. Everything's good.
6.5 to go in the first. Knicks down by 4. Brunson on the perimeter, now takes it towards the center. Knocked out of his hands, loose ball. DiVincenzo taps to McBride, who fires a 3. Is good, straight on. Knicks trail by 1.
So Neesmith and Halliburton are working so hard not to switch that Jalen Brunson is able to take advantage of the time it's taking them to get back.
Siakam has the ball left elbow. Halliburton battling for position inside against McBride. Siakam turns around to the paint, switches to the left hand, gets the roll. Knicks trail 15-12.
Siakam did have 22 in Game 5. He was one of the few guys that seemed to be prepared for the moment in terms of some competition and taking advantage of his matchup.
He's been the Pacers' leading scorer in the playoffs. McBride fires another 3 and knocks it down from the right wing. And Deuce McBride, 3 for 3 from downtown already. We're tied at 15.
The decision to leave Deuce McBride so far has been costly.
Neesmith tries to answer, no good. Rebound taken by DiVincenzo. Knicks looking to push. DiVincenzo brings it up left wing. Now towards the center of the court, gives to McBride on the right side. In the corner, Achiuwa, no hesitation. His 3 is no good off the heel of the rim. Rebound pulled by Nembhard. Nembhard drives right at DiVincenzo. Crossover dribble blocked by Achiuwa against the backboard. Recovered by Siakam. His pass is deflected and taken by Achiuwa. Here come the Knicks. McBride on the left side. Gets by the defender, coast to coast. Deuce McBride lays it in, and the Knicks lead 17-15.
And yes, here in Gainbridge Fieldhouse, those are faint Deuce chants, and rightfully so.
He's got 11 points already in the first. 5 minutes to go. Knicks leading by 2. Nembhard lob pass down low to Siakam, flips it up and draws the foul against Dante DiVincenzo.
What I appreciate about that foul is Dante DiVincenzo doesn't allow Siakam the opportunity to make it a three-point play. Here's the thing that's interesting about teams that look to play fast, Pat. Speed kills, baby. It can be fantastic when you are under control, but there is a degree of controlled chaos for teams that like to play in transition. Right now, the Pacers are trying to get back to what they do in transition, and frankly, it's been out of control prior to Pascal Siakam getting fouled deep inside the restricted area.
Pascal Siakam, 56% free throw shooter in the playoffs, but 68% in this series. Knicks on an 8-2 run. And Siakam ends that by hitting the first. Josh Hart quickly back in the game as Precious Achiuwa retreats to the Knicks bench. So the Knicks with their starting 5 back on the floor. Meanwhile, Rick Carlisle has gone to the bench for the first time. T.J. McConnell replaces Aaron Nesmith.
Just like Deuce McBride has the ability to change the speed of the ball game, as does T.J. McConnell.
Second free throw by Siakam, in and out. Hartenstein the rebound and is fouled by Nembhard. That's the second team foul against the Pacers. It comes with 4:56 to go in the first, and the Knicks leading 17-16. Obi Toppin in, replacing Siakam.
I don't want to call it an announcer's jinx, but we looked at each other in the break and said, not a lot of fouls calls. And then here they come.
A different kind of announcer's jinx. I don't think it counts if we don't say it on air.
Okay, there you go.
But we now have. 17-16, Knicks the ball in a 1-point lead. Runs in between the circles, guarded now by McConnell. Around a Hartenstein screen, drives on Turner. Right-handed layup, no good. Hartenstein the offensive rebound, floats it out to Hart. Brunson sets up, left corner 3, off the side of the rim. Hart another offensive rebound, out to DiVincenzo straight on. That one is good, and the Knicks lead 20-16.
Remember, the Knicks had 26 points off of offensive rebounds in Game 5.
McConnell coast-to-coast finishes off the glass with the left hand. It's 20-18. T.J. McConnell just off the bench, scoring in transition. Here's Hart, top of the key, finds DiVincenzo on the left wing. Nembhard all the way up on him. DiVincenzo drives, spins, pulls up off the glass, and he gets the roll. Pretty move by DiVincenzo.
Spicy ragu on that one.
A little bit extra, 22-18, Knicks by 4. Lob pass underneath for Toppin, who's guarded by Brunson. Turns around, Brunson knocks it out of his hands and out of bounds on the baseline with 12 seconds to shoot.
Really good hustle by Josh Hart to get down and help Jalen Brunson, who's obviously given up size to Obi Toppin. Dante DiVincenzo looked and was about to go help as well, so great communication by the Knicks on that defensive possession.
3:53 to go in the first. Knicks on top 22-18. McConnell inbounds along the baseline for Halliburton in the corner. McBride guards Halliburton, now turns his back to him. Halliburton takes it towards the left wing. Crossover dribble, cross-court pass for Toppin. Fakes the 3 from the right side, drives the lane, and gets free for the left-handed slam.
Deuce McBride made a business decision to stay out of the lane on that one.
By 2, Brunson front court left side. Right-handed dribble now between the circles. Around a Hart screen, picks up his dribble, flips the pass to Hart down the lane, knocked out of his hands by Turner. Hart to the floor, trying to recover, kicks it out to DiVincenzo. His 3 is good from the right corner. What a heads-up play by Josh Hart.
Dante DiVincenzo lives by shooter shoot to get hot and shooter shoot to stay hot.
25-20, Knicks by 5. Toppin's pass deflected out of bounds off the hands of McBride with 3:11 to go in the first.
Really smart play, and it's a detail that will go overlooked on that closeout by Deuce McBride. He closes out to contest the corner 3, but that right hand is in the passing lane because the Pacers have done a good job of whipping the ball around the perimeter to find a guy that can attack the Knicks on the scramble. His deflection literally stops the play, stops the clock, and gives the Knicks defense a chance to match up appropriately.
Achiuwa back in for Hartenstein. Inbound to McConnell, right baseline. Guarded by DiVincenzo. 10 seconds to shoot. Toppin from the high post. Kicks it out to Siakam, who just returned for Turner. Here's McConnell. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Drives, floats it up, and he can't get the roll. Hart grabs the rebound. Knicks possession, and they're already on a 16-7 run. Here comes Brunson, left side of the key. Siakam guards him on a switch, and now Toppin picks him up. Brunson, they clear out for him. Drives. Kicks it up top for Hart. Ben Shepherd guarding Hart. Left wing McBride already with 3 threes in this quarter. Shot clock is down to 5. McBride drives baseline, finds a cutting Hart, who drops the ball out of bounds off the Knicks.
That was going to be beautiful, but a little bit off in terms of the execution. That was a really tough read by Deuce McBride attacking baseline with the shot clock winding down. Josh Hart just couldn't quite corral the pass.
It brings us to a timeout on the floor. Let's pause 10 seconds to allow stations to identify themselves on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
This is your radio home for New York Knicks basketball. This is 98.7 ESPN, WEPN FM, New York.
Timeout on the floor, 2:33 to go in the first quarter. Knicks holding their largest lead of the evening so far, on top 25-20. New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
If you've ever asked yourself if you could do more to help struggling young people turn their lives around, apply to become a youth development specialist, where you will supervise and support young people in detention. It's challenging, it's rewarding, it's a union job with a $51,000 starting salary, and perhaps most importantly, it's a job that has a positive impact on the lives of young people. NYC residency not required. Apply to become a youth development specialist today at nyc.gov/YDS. That's nyc.gov/YDS.
The NBA app is everyone's app. Every fan of every team.
Oh, my goodness.
Everyone who follows LeBron, Tatum, and Embiid in the app. Every warrior who's ready to go to battle over three-point percentages. Every streetwear king who's here for the tunnel fit. Every young buck, nugget, and grizzly who wants to take a peek behind the scenes of the league. And everyone else on this floating basketball we call Earth. Download the NBA app today. Available in the Google Play, Apple app, and Android stores.
Now, it all started on a rainy Sunday, and I was enjoying a peaceful drive before the arrival of the in-laws when...
It's a disaster. That sneaky dog of yours got up on the counter and gobbled up the cake.
So I can pick up...
It's gotta be from the place off Highway 9. Hurry, they're almost here.
Luckily, my Nissan Altima was built to handle the unexpected. With available intelligent all-wheel drive, I was able to save the day without a slip-up.
You made it.
Piece of cake.
Drive the Nissan Altima. Now get a low $209 per month lease for 36 months on the 2024 Nissan Altima. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. Intelligent all-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions. Well-qualified lessees 2024 Altima SV front-wheel drive. $4049 initial payment excludes tax, title, license, and $695 acquisition fee. Includes $625 manufacturer's rebate applied to $209 per month lease. Disposition fee due at lease in. Take from new dealer stock. Call 1-888-858-8319 for offer details. N6324.
Back here in Indiana, 2:33 to go in the first quarter. Knicks up by 5, Monica, and they're on a 16-7 run. Things starting to turn in their favor, and that includes the boards. The Knicks have grabbed 7 of the last 8 available rebounds, including 4 on the offensive glass.
Those offensive rebounds have allowed them to now have 9 points off of second chance opportunities. And just like the offensive rebounds were disruptive for the Knicks early in the ball game, they have been the same for the Pacers. Listen, Dante DiVincenzo shooting a 3 in the corner as Josh Hart is falling down and fighting for the basketball from a Pacer. I don't remember who that was. I mean, listen, let that thing fly, Dante. Already knocked down 2.
He missed his first 3. He's hit his last 2 from downtown. 21 of the 25 Knicks points have been scored by Deuce McBride and Dante DiVincenzo.
Now, a thing of note here, though, no Knicks have gotten to the free throw line just yet, and the Pacers have been 1 of 3. Pascal Siakam shot 2, and Miles Turner had the and 1 play.
Pacers ball out of the timeout after the Josh Hart turnover. Shepard puts it on the floor and gives it up top for Toppin. High post now, Siakam, 1 dribble, hands to McConnell. Cut off on the baseline by Achua. Gets around Achua, misses the layup. Siakam, offensive rebound, knocked out of his hands by Hart. Gets it back and finishes.
Siakam just has quick twitch. He's off the ground so quickly. Although Precious Achua did a great job of contesting the initial opportunity by T.J. McConnell.
2 minutes to go, first quarter. Knicks lead 25-22. Achua to the basket. Too strong and a late whistle and a foul called against Pascal Siakam.
Pascal Siakam fortunate to get that foul call by David Guthrie. This contact, though, it's more than marginal, but I don't know that he did himself any favors because he's a little bit out of control in this play. But we have heard the officials, when these things have gone to review, discuss where a guy potentially would be absorbing a charge. And Pascal Siakam did not take that in the center of his chest. So I do understand this call, but based on the temperature of this game so far, I thought that would have been a no call.
in the act of shooting, so it puts Achua at the line. First one is well short off the front of the rim. Achua's free throw shooting in the playoffs. He's now 3 for 9 from the line as Tom Thibodeau sends Alec Burks into the game with 1:54 to go here in the first. Isaiah Jackson checks in for the first time. Siakam goes to the bench because that was his second. Second one from Achua, front rim, rolls off, top in the rebound.
We've seen Siakam have to navigate foul trouble at various games in this series.
There's Shepherd on the right baseline. Picks up his dribble in the corner, gets to Jackson on the right wing. Now McConnell trying to drive through traffic, lays it up and in off the glass, and the Knicks lead is down to 1.
Precious Achiuwa was a little bit undecided in terms of how he wanted to help on that drive from the left side, or right side, by T.J. McConnell.
Brunson sprints it into the front court. Shepherd guarding him. Brunson wants to go to work on the rookie out of Belmont. One-on-one with him on the left side. Toppin now comes with the double team. Up top, Hart finds a cutting DiVincenzo, spins, floats it up, can't get the roll. Achua, though, taps it up and in over his head, and the Knicks are up by 3.
A near turnover. I think Josh Hart anticipated Dante DiVincenzo would camp out on that three-point line.
Great hands by DiVincenzo.
Yes.
Flip pass. Jackson down the lane. Tough finish over Achua is good.
That was a tough move by Isaiah Jackson. Tremendous body control and great touch.
With a third-year man out of Kentucky. Final minute, first quarter. Knicks have led by as many as 5. They have the ball leading 27-26. Hart with the dribble to the left side. Split pass deflected. Achua, pump fake, lays it up and in off the glass. And Precious Achua with 4 points off the bench.
His strength is sort of wiry, but it has worked well versus this Indiana Pacers squad in today's contest.
Here's Toppin on the right wing. Left open, so fires a three-pointer and knocks it down. And we're tied at 29.
Before Game 4... that Sunday, Mother's Day, Obi Toppin was in the gym early working on that three-point shot. He's going to take it if it's given to him.
And Brunson is run into in the front court by Isaiah Jackson, and that is going to be the Pacers' second foul in the last 2 minutes. So with 23.6 seconds to go, Brunson will get to the free throw line.
We had just talked about the Knicks not yet having the opportunity to get there. The Pacers are trying to hard hedge on these screens by Jalen Brunson. They want to turn him back, and that actually would have been a great opportunity to use a hard hedge because Jalen Brunson is dribbling toward Tom Thibodeau on the baseline side, and Isaiah Jackson can cut that baseline off. Brunson uncharacteristically misses that first free throw. The trap would have been powerful because you'd have 4 sides covered, right? Between the half-court line, the baseline side, and Jackson and McConnell. But the thing about hedging is you have to beat the defender to the spot cleanly. If you don't, it's a blocking foul, which is what we just saw.
So Brunson well short on his first free throw attempt. Reset. Second one is good. So Jalen Brunson has 5 points. Knicks lead 30-29. Shot clock is off. Deuce McBride came back in for Burks for defense. McConnell inside the paint, circles, passes into the right corner for Shepherd, and now Halliburton, who just came back in, guarded by McBride. Under 10 seconds to go. Halliburton left side, pump fake. McBride flies by, fires a three. Long rebound taken by Hart. 3 seconds in the front court. Pass deflected by McConnell. One dribble. He fires from half court, grazes the front of the rim, and the first quarter comes to an end with the Knicks holding a 1-point lead.
Tom Thibodeau is irate, and Josh Hart looks very quizzically as he goes to have a conversation with Zach Zarba about the pass attempt to end the quarter, trying to get the ball to Jalen Brunson. He felt like he was grabbed, and he was, but the Knicks have to be careful because in their reaction, they nearly allowed the officials to call a foul against the end of the quarter heave by T.J. McConnell. Gotta be smart.
Which was just short, and the Knicks lead 30-29, 1 quarter in the books in Game 6 here in Indianapolis. You're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
The NBA playoffs are here, and the New York Knicks are in. It's time to hit the court with BetMGM, an authorized betting partner of the NBA. Download the BetMGM app and make every playoff game, every vital play mean more than ever. Find out why basketball fans love BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Madison Square Garden and the New York Knicks. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years or older to wager and physically present in New York or New Jersey only. Gambling problem in New York? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. In New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get a double-digit bonus exclusively for Knicks fans from Food Bazaar Supermarket. Take $10 off your order of $50 or more when you shop online at shop.foodbazaar.com. Plus, your first delivery is free. Go to shop.foodbazaar.com and use promo code FOODSAVE10 for the largest selection of international foods and all-star lineup of the freshest meat, seafood, and produce. And $10 off your first order of $50. Use promo code FOODSAVE10 at shop.foodbazaar.com.
Spectrum One is a big deal. You get Spectrum Internet with the most reliable internet speeds, free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and privacy, and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line with nationwide 5G included, all while saving big. For the big speed, big reliability, and big savings you want, get Spectrum One. Just $49.99 a month for 12 months. Visit spectrum.com/big deal for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Well, I talk for a living, and whether I'm in the studio or at the ballpark, I'm sure to have a cup of Bigelow tea by my side. There's nothing like fueling my voice, body, and soul with only the finest tea. Bigelow Earl Grey. This delightful blend of black tea and real bergamot oil is not your ordinary tea. It's a broadcaster's dream come true. Keeps me energized and focused throughout the broadcast, ensuring I deliver nothing but the best for my loyal listeners. So join the millions of fans that make Bigelow tea #1 in New York. Bigelow tea, the official hot tea of the New York Yankees.
Start of the second quarter from Indianapolis, and a very tightly played game so far. Knicks lead the Pacers 30-29 here in game number 6. Monica rebounds even, 13 apiece. Offensive rebounds even, 5 apiece. Each team has led by as many as 5 points, and that all adds up to a 1-point Knicks lead.
So, a place where there is differentiation, though, partner, three-point shooting. The Knicks have knocked down 5 threes and are shooting 41 points. Let's just make it 42% from the three-point line, where the Pacers are just 2 of 7, shooting 29% from the three-point line. All things considered, I thought that if that was an area where the Knicks could separate themselves, in addition to rebounding, I'm curious to see how this is going to play out in the second quarter, because I thought the Pacers did a great job on the glass to start. I give it all of the first 4 minutes before the Knicks started to mix it up in the way that we're accustomed to seeing them do so.
In contrast to the Knicks' outside shooting, the Pacers a 22-10 advantage in points in the paint. Knicks ball to begin the second quarter. They have Burks, Hartenstein, Brunson, Achua, and DiVincenzo on the floor. Burks advances it into the front court. Bounce pass left side for Brunson. Uses the Burks screen. He's guarded by Shepard. Now around a Hartenstein screen. Brunson one-on-one with Isaiah Jackson at the top. Between the legs a couple of times. 3 seconds to shoot. Brunson blocked from behind by Jackson off the backboard. Shot clock didn't reset. Knicks didn't recognize because Brunson's shot did not hit the rim.
Yeah, Isaiah Hartenstein wanted to point to the rim for a second, and it was almost like he had to tell himself, oh, wait, that didn't actually make any contact.
So the Knicks turn it over to begin the second quarter, their 4th turnover of the evening, leading 30-29. 11 and a half to go. McConnell crossover dribble, hesitation now in the paint, spins back towards the right side, lob pass, broken up by Hartenstein, taken by Burks. So each team with a turnover to begin the second quarter. Burks sprints through traffic and draws the foul in the lane, taking it to the basket.
It is interesting. You mentioned the points in the paint disparity, or the difference. I won't call it a disparity because the Knicks have shot the 3-ball well. They haven't had to score in the paint. But now you can see them looking to attack in the paint for contact, right? Like trying to get to the free throw line. Jalen Brunson got it going to end that second quarter, and now Alec Burks is able to follow him and get the same result.
Foul against Darren Nesmith. 2 shots for Alec Burks. Burks playing his 5th consecutive game. First free throw is no good. Knicks are 1 for 5 from the foul line so far.
That it will not do.
We haven't had a chance to speak a lot about Alec Burks so far tonight, but what he has done to help Tom Thibodeau expand this Knicks rotation has been so important this series.
Yeah, the utmost professionalism. It has been up and down in drastic ways for Alec Burks in terms of the rotation this year.
The second free throw by Burks is good. So the Knicks lead by 2, 31-29. Nearly a minute gone by second quarter. McConnell from the right side leaves his feet. Up top pass for Nesmith. Fakes the 3. Foul line jumper is good, and we're tied at 31. With 10:50 to go, McConnell pressuring Brunson full court. A lot of contact there. Brunson with the right-handed dribble brings it right wing. Around an Achua screen. Brunson Met by 3 defenders. Flips it up, no good. Rebound tapped to Neesmith. Brunson slow to his feet. Right wing, Toppin fakes the 3. Now drives the lane. Kicks it to Neesmith. Wide open left wing, front rim, no. Burks skies for a strong rebound and brings it up court himself. Tied at 31, 10:25 to go. Burks loses a defender and is fouled at the rim by Aaron Neesmith.
An excellent take by Alec Burks, right? It's a decisive decision early in the shot clock. He uses this crafty spin move on this right wing to get by Neesmith and has basically a finger roll except for the foul. His ability to create more pressure on this Pacers defense will only open up space for Jalen Brunson.
Neesmith was the defender who was beaten. The foul assessed to Obi Toppin. So Burks back to the line. First free throw is good. Jalen Brunson to the Knicks bench as Dante DiVincenzo enters the game along with Deuce McBride. So one more coming for Alec Burks with 10:23 to go.
These are also valuable rest minutes for Josh Hart.
Second one is good. Burks 2 for 2 from the line on this trip, and the Knicks lead 33-31. McConnell left wing picked up by DiVincenzo. High post Jackson gets it back to McConnell. Pulls up from the left block and gets the roll, and we're tied at 33.
The Knicks are doing a good job of honoring the scout, as McConnell is not a prolific three-point shooter, but he's done a better job of getting into his mid-range and getting to the rim.
TJ McConnell 6 points off the bench. He and Obi Toppin have combined for 11. Burke, hesitation, dribble, floater, no good. Hartenstein the back tap. DiVincenzo can't get there. McConnell ahead for Toppin. Look out. Slams it down with the right hand. Pacers on top 35-33.
Meanwhile, while that was unfolding, Isaiah Hartenstein and Aaron Neesmith were in a battle on the rebounds. They both fall to the floor, and it looked like Neesmith was trying to tie up Isaiah Hartenstein's arms. 2 officials went toward them too before they dispersed on their own. But emotions are high in this basketball game.
Emotions are high. Tom Thibodeau, sensing that, calls a timeout with 9:48 to go here in the second, and the Pacers now on top 35-33.
The Knicks got to settle down just a bit. It is a one-possession ball game, and yes, while dunks are exciting and energizing this crowd here, there's still just 2 points.
35-33, 9:48 to go in the second. Visit London Jewelers today at any of their 7 locations, including the Americana Mall and the mall at Short Hill. New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York, and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
Have you ever driven across the Whitestone Bridge and wondered who could possibly paint this? The New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association. That's who. With our local 806 partners, members of the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association work hard to ensure New York City's bridges, roads, and rails are safe, beautiful, and ready for the future. You've seen our work. The New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association partnered with the New York Department of Transportation on the iconic Brooklyn Bridge, applying new coatings seen by thousands of people and captured in selfies every day. That's just one of the many pieces of iconic steel structures that the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association has helped revitalize. Every day you see subway stops, bridges, highway ramps, and steel structures restored and painted by us. We're the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association, adding a little color to the Big Apple. To learn more about our association and career opportunities, visit nySSPCA.net.
At Audi Manhattan, experience best-in-class service in the heart of New York City, conveniently located at 55th Street and 11th Avenue. Free indoor valet parking is available. Visit the Audi flagship store today. Here's a deal just for you. Enjoy complimentary Audi care with the lease or purchase of any new Audi. Shop 24 hours a day at AudiManhattan.com. Audi Manhattan, where luxury meets excellence.
I like what I like, and I do what I want.
If what you like is playing the loosest slots, getting the most free play, and finding more of your favorite games, all on a spacious upscale gaming floor, then Wind Creek Bethlehem is your kind of fabulous. No matter what fabulous means to you, you'll find it here. Wind Creek Bethlehem. Must be 21 years of age. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
What's the play?
Back here in Indiana at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, Pat O'Keefe and Monica McNutt with you during a Knicks timeout. 9:48 to go in the second quarter. And the Pacers have outscored the Knicks 15-8 over the last 4 minutes and 21 seconds. They're back on top now, Monica, 35-33 as the Knicks, led by Josh Hart, come back out onto the floor.
This game is going to have ebbs and flows. There was no thought for me that this one would be one that the Knicks would run away with. The Pacers have had a good season. They're a prideful team. But this is why my third key today was finishing, because in Game 3, if this game is to resemble that, they were a shot away from sealing the deal. And so I do like the rotations that Tom Thibodeau is using, because it's giving some of your starters an opportunity to rest, as Josh Hart has just returned to action, and now Jalen Brunson is taking a breather.
Burks, McBride, Hart, DiVincenzo, and Hartenstein, the unit on the floor right now for the Knicks. Full court pressure by the Pacers. Hart being pestered by Toppin. Gets it across the timeline with the left-handed dribble. Here's McBride on the left wing. McConnell now guards McBride with Brunson on the bench. McBride trying to drive on McConnell from the left side. Gives it up to Hartenstein up top, who flips it to Burks. Top of the key, Burks has it. Shot clock down to 3. Burks fires a contested 3 off the side of the rim. Rebound to Toppin. McConnell with his head up finds Toppin running the floor. Backs it out on the right wing. 9:15 to go until halftime. McConnell, right-handed dribble between the circles. McBride a step off of him. McConnell drives, splits it up, no good. Hart the rebound off the air ball. Here come the Knicks. Hart, center of the court, wants to force the issue. Drives at Jackson. Now to a cutting Hartenstein. One power dribble. Right-handed floater, no good. Hart the offensive rebound in traffic. Back to Hartenstein. Another power dribble, no good. But he's fouled inside by Jackson.
Isaiah Jackson looks like the Tasmanian devil. He is just in there whirling around and contesting. Some of that energy is good if he's not making contact with an actual white jersey, that being the Knicks. But there was no doubt in my mind that the whistle had to blow on that putback attempt, or actually the finish attempt by Isaiah Hartenstein, as it would have been an assist from Josh Hart.
First free throw for Hartenstein is good. Knicks trail now 35-34. Rick Carlisle sending 4 of his starters back in the game to join Andrew Nembhard. So the starting 5 for the Pacers back out there.
Remember, this sort of rotation of giving his starters rest, and then it's not a full-on line change, although this opportunity it is, was what ultimately gave them fresh legs to finish in Game 3.
Hartenstein hits them both. We're tied at 35. 8:50 to go in the second. Nembhard around the screen, brings it left side. Turner's pass is stolen by McBride. One-on-one with Halliburton. Steps through, flips it up and in. Deuce McBride with 13.
Great touch and awareness by Deuce McBride on that one. He goes with a finger roll right at the rim.
He jumped the route and stole the handoff. The Knicks back on top, 37-35. Turner flips it into the right block for Siakam. Backing down against Hart. Left-handed dribble, fallback jumper is good, and we're tied. 8:15 to go, second quarter, 37 all. Hart, right wing pass, DiVincenzo. McBride pops out. A jab step, pull up, 15-foot jumper is good. McBride's got 15 in the first half.
Tyrese Halliburton has not been able to slow Deuce McBride at all.
Here's Halliburton looking to answer. Gives it off to Siakam, who drives at Hart. Back to Halliburton. Back to Siakam at the rim. Flips it up and in off the glass, and we're tied at 39.
This is a really great two-man game between Halliburton and Siakam. Isaiah Hartenstein just a second late in terms of getting over it and offering help.
McBride drives again into the right corner. He finds Burks. 7:39 to go. High post. Hartenstein has it. One dribble. Floats it up on the run. Tough shot is good for Hartenstein. 41-39. Isaiah Hartenstein with 4. Halliburton stops his dribble at the foul line. Bounce pass left wing for Nembhard. Right back to Halliburton. He's got Hartenstein one-on-one. He calls for the clear out. Crossover dribble. Step back. Fires a three-pointer and hits.
I know that Tyrese Halliburton hit that shot, but that's still a bad decision with Miles Turner having Deuce McBride behind him, a foot inside the restricted area.
42-41 Pacers. Spot in the second quarter. DiVincenzo spin move around Turner, off the glass, plus the foul.
Whatever those two shared, words of encouragement, we'll call them, at the Garden, that has traveled here to Game 6.
Boy, DiVincenzo spin move that time around Turner, drawing the foul. and finishing off the glass. DiVincenzo can't finish the three-point play, however. Knicks continue to struggle from the line. They're 6 for 11. Siakam in the front court brings it right baseline, backing in against Hart. Hart, the spin move by Siakam off the glass is good.
Pascal Siakam is having a great game, and Josh Hart is doing the best he can, but he gives up height to Siakam, and he does a really great job of feeling the defender and turning away.
Back and forth we go here in Game 6. 6.5 to play in the second quarter. Pacers lead by a point. McBride on the right wing. Halliburton on his hip. Now finds Hartenstein right elbow. Up top for Hart. Fires a three-pointer. Knocks it down.
It's been a while since we've seen some of those. But Josh Hart, the playoff version of Josh Hart, has been a great three-point shooter.
46-44 Knicks. Halliburton gets free in the paint. Up and under off the glass is good. And we're tied again.
The Pacers showing that full court pressure. Deuce McBride now bringing the basketball up. Of the guards defending on the ball handler, Tyrese Halliburton is the first one I've seen from the Pacers that actually backpedaled to the half-court mark.
McBride, right corner. Hart will try again. That one's in and out. Hartenstein, the offensive rebound, flips it out to McBride. Burks, an open look, in and out. It was halfway down, rebounded by Siakam. 5:40 to go, first half. Siakam, right wing. One-on-one again with Hart. Likes that right block. Ball back, and now he gives it off at the last moment to Nesmith. Siakam gets it back, stops his dribble in the paint. Shot clock down to 8. Nesmith drives around Hart, off balance, but he finishes with the left hand.
So both teams doing a good job of putting pressure on defenders in the paint.
5:15 to go, second quarter. Timeout Knicks as they trail by 2.
What a great first half of basketball this has turned to all around.
48-46 is the score to your point, Monica.
Yeah, Pascal Siakam with 13 points so far in this one. The leading scorer for the Pacers and just behind Deuce McBride's 15 points. But he's done a great job of establishing himself, particularly on the right side of the floor where that right block is. Whether he's going to be a scorer or a passer, the attention that the Knicks are having to pay him is opening up things for the Pacers.
Your sweet, shareable summer awaits. Head to your local Kia dealer and check out the tech-forward Forte or a capable SUV. Kia, movement that inspires. Timeout Knicks with 5:15 to go in the second quarter, and they trail the Pacers 48-46 here in Indianapolis. You're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
It's the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event, so give your friends something to look at, like a B&B with an ocean view, an endless field of wildflowers, or a sunset that needs no filter. Make this a summer to share and save with a capable Kia SUV or powerful sedan. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Sale applies to purchase of specially tagged 2024 vehicles only. Quantities are limited. Must take delivery by 7/8/24.
I'm a New Yorker. I want to contribute to public safety.
I want a 6-figure salary.
I want to get paid after I retire.
I want to take my kids on vacation.
New York City Department of Correction officer jobs are available now for strong, brave, bold New Yorkers with problem-solving and communication skills. Most earn more than $85,000 in their first year. Register today. Search the words City Exams on your phone, click, then scroll to Correction Officer.
Serve with a purpose, take the test. Join, discover, New York City Corrections, take the test.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
Grand Marnier is an award-winning blend of fine cognac and orange liqueur. It's made for those who live to step outside the box, who like to put a twist on the traditional and believe in a world that's not just good, but grand. Visit GrandMarnier.com to learn how to take cocktails from ordinary to extraordinary and live grand. Grand Marnier liqueur, 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Copyright 2022, Campari America, New York, New York. Drink with style. Always drink responsibly.
Back here in Indy, 5:15 to go, second quarter. Pacers lead the Knicks 48-46. Monica, speaking together throughout the day, we weren't sure what to expect. I think we were both on the same page that it was going to be a close, competitive game. So far, 10 ties, 8 lead changes with 5:15 to go until halftime.
Indicative of the urgency of a closeout game. The Pacers obviously are fighting for their lives for the rest of the season, and the Knicks are trying to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. Both teams have done a good job of staying with the hot hand. Pascal Siakam has been 4 of 6 from the field with Josh Hart as the primary defender. And while Hart is doing a diligent job, Siakam's size and his footwork has given him an advantage. But on the flip side for the Knicks, Deuce McBride is 4 of 5 from the field with Tyrese Halliburton as the primary defender. So you keep going to the hot hand.
Jalen Brunson back in, DiVincenzo to the bench. Knicks ball, Hartenstein hands the ball to Brunson, brings it right side. Neesmith back on Brunson, who brings it left side and is picked up by Nembhard. Behind the back with the dribble, shot clock down to 5. Brunson spins at the foul line, pump fake. Nembhard up on him, Brunson's got to flip it up, it's short and rebounded by Siakam. Sprints it into the front court. Right wing Halliburton spotting up, fakes the shot, inside the paint, up top Turner, an open look, and he knocks it down from 3.
We know that the Pacers shoot the 3 ball as a part of what they look to do 1 through 5, and here at home they are energized.
51-46, Pacers equaling their largest lead of the game. They're on a 7-0 run. 4.5 to go in the second. Hartenstein holds the ball over his head, hands it to Hart at the top of the arc. Hart brings it left side, shot clock at 3. Hart's got to flip it up on the baseline, and it drops in.
Beautiful touch there, falling away from the basket.
51-48, Knicks down by 3. Turner right wing, Neesmith into the corner now on the right side. It's Nembhard. Back up top for Neesmith. Puts it on the floor, drives to a cutting Turner, blocks, but also fouled going to the basket. Foul is against Deuce McBride with 4:04 to go.
So Pascal Siakam is occupying the Knicks' best and most versatile defender on the floor in Josh Hart. I should say most versatile because I can argue about who's best, but most versatile. He was on the right block, or left block, pointing for the ball to swing back around to the perimeter so that he could seal Hart. It's the cut by Turner, though, on the opposite side that clutters the paint, and he's able to draw contact versus his Knicks defense.
Turner's first free throw is good. In the playoffs, he's 69% from the foul line. DiVincenzo back in for Burks. So each team with 4:04 to go in the second has its starting 5 on the floor. Potential closeout opportunity for the Knicks. Pacers need to win to keep their season alive. Turner hits them both, and Indy is back on top by 5.
The Knicks have gone back to their starting lineup with both McBride and Brunson on the floor so that JV can play off the basketball.
With McBride handling it now. Hands to Hart between the circles. Hart is guarded by Halliburton. Brunson pops out. Neesmith tries to catch up to him. Brunson with the dribble brings it to the left wing. Now cuts back inside from the dotted circle. Steps through, flips it up, no good. Rebounded by Neesmith. Left side, Nembhard stops at the left elbow, then looks for Siakam, who's double-teamed to the post. Up top, Nembhard behind the back with the dribble. One-on-one with Hartenstein. Bounce pass inside Siakam. Spins, flips it up and in.
Turning over his right shoulder, Siakam has been cold tonight. You got to give it to him.
55-48, Knicks down 7. This is the largest lead of the game for either team. DiVincenzo cuts back right side, right wing for Hart. Hart towards the baseline. McBride popping free, 8 seconds to shoot. McBride with the dribble brings it left wing. Hesitation, loses the handle, out of bounds, off of the Knicks.
So, the Knicks not being able to come up with defensive rebounds means they have to inbound the basketball, which gives the Pacers defense an opportunity to set up. So they're getting across half court with less time than is ideal.
11-2 run for the Pacers over the last 3 minutes and change. 2:55 to go in the second. Halliburton guarded by Hartenstein on a switch. They dump it inside to Siakam again. Here comes Turner, throwing it down. A thunderous jam cutting down the lane. Knicks trail by 9. And we've got a whistle in the backcourt against Aaron Neesmith. Too handsy against Jalen Brunson with 2:41 to go in the second, and the Pacers are in the penalty.
So we didn't see 2 thunderous dunks by Miles Turner, but that's the second time that, excuse me, Pascal Siakam operating on one side of the block has opened up lane, or space at least, for Miles Turner to come down on the other side and get an emphatic basket.
So the foul occurred on the floor, but with the Pacers in the penalty, Jalen Brunson shoots 2 free throws here. Brunson's first one is short. He's 1 for 3 from the line. Brunson with 5 points so far tonight and 2 for 11 from the field.
He's taking some difficult shots in this one. This foul would have been a good stoppage and sort of to stop the bleeding. I still say it was. It's better if he knocks down both of these free throws as opposed to...
Misses both of them. Second one spins out. Nembhard the rebound. Achua's back in for Hartenstein. Siakam going to work. DiVincenzo comes with a double team. Spin move along the left block. Kicks it up top. Nembhard. Now Turner's three. Right side of the arc. No good off the back of the rim. Achua, good box out. And the rebound.
Great rebound by Precious Achua.
Met it at its highest point. 57-48. Knicks down by 9. 2:15 to go in the second quarter. Brunson trying to get free. Bounce pass from Hart to Brunson from the dotted circle. Comes up short. Rebound tapped and scooped up by Halliburton. Halliburton with the dribble in the front court. Fakes the pass. Now gives to Siakam left corner. Back up top Halliburton. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Halliburton tries to drive on Hart and is cut off. And there's a whistle away from the ball, and it's against the Knicks.
Brunson being so short at the rim is not something that the Knicks are used to having to deal with. He's gotten great looks in the paint tonight, but hasn't been able to capitalize at the rate that you're accustomed to seeing him do so.
That foul was on Jalen Brunson, his first. It's the Knicks' first in the last 2 minutes. Minute 55 to go in the second. Knicks down 9. Achua guarding Siakam. He's handling top of the arc, fires a three-pointer, no good. Neesmith crashes the boards, his putback is good. Pacers lead by 11.
Jalen Brunson looks tired to me.
Minute 35 to go in the second. Neesmith pestering Brunson. 8 straight points for Indiana. Brunson left-handed dribble. Now he cuts towards the right side. Trying to weave in and out of traffic. Floats it up. Front rim, no. Brunson battling for the offensive rebound. Into the hands of Achua. Finds McBride off the glass. Comes up short. Rebounded by Nembhard. And a quick outlet for Halliburton on the right side. Brunson cuts him off with a minute 10 to go. Knicks down by 11. Halliburton stops his dribble. Nembhard left side. Drives on DiVincenzo. Right wing. Three-pointers. Siakam way off the mark. Rebound batted and taken by Achua. Knicks looking to push. Achua one-on-one down the lane. Knocked out of his hands and out of bounds off of Nembhard with 53 seconds to go in the quarter.
Nembhard actually knocking that basketball out is fortunate in my mind. Precious Achua, right idea, risky in the execution. The Knicks need an opportunity to get a quality look here with just 53.6 to go in this second quarter.
Rick Carlisle sends Ben Shepherd and Obi Toppin in the game for Siakam and Neesmith. DiVincenzo has it off the inbound. 13 seconds to shoot. Now it's Brunson guarded by Nembhard. This has been a favorable matchup this series for the Knicks. Brunson working from the top of the arc. Right wing. Hart fakes the three. Steps back. Fires the three. No good. Shepherd the rebound. 35 seconds to go in the quarter. Knicks down 11. Halliburton cross-court pass. Turner gives it back to Halliburton. Around the Turner screen. McBride trying to stay with Halliburton. Drives from the left side. Kicks it out. Nembhard up top. Turner fakes the three. Down the lane. Run into by Achua and fouled by Precious Achua.
I thought Turner traveled before that contact. But again, I'm okay with fouls that don't give up layups.
Knicks over the limit. Foul was in the act of shooting anyway. So Miles Turner back to the line for 2 more free throws. He's 2 for 3 there tonight. First one is good. 60-48. Knicks trail by 12.
Halftime is coming at the right time for the Knicks. They're just a little bit rattled. The Pacers have found themselves a little bit more from behind the three-point line, but it's really not even a three-point line. It's the opportunities in the paint and the leadership and scoring of Pascal Siakam tonight.
Second free throw is good. Knicks haven't scored in the last 4 minutes. Shot clock is off. Knicks down by 13. Brunson trying to drive on Nembhard. Stops in the paint. Squirts out of his hands, out of bounds, off of Indiana with 4.7 seconds to go.
Right idea and smart of Precious Achiuwa not to touch the basketball if it was deflected by a Pacer.
So the Knicks on the baseline. Brunson will trigger it in. Nembhard guards him. Brunson holding. DiVincenzo pops free, right corner. Gathers, fires a three-pointer, and he knocks it down with 1.2 seconds to go.
It's a big basket by Donte DiVincenzo just to give the Knicks a little bit of life and breathing room.
And McConnell dribbles out the final 1.2 seconds. His shot from three-quarters court actually went in, but it was too late and it doesn't count.
Technical foul, though, Pat. I don't know what he said, but Zach Zarba just popped Andrew Nembhard with a T.
So the players are still on the floor. The technical foul assessed after the buzzer had sounded. Donte DiVincenzo is standing at the free throw line. Andrew Nembhard has walked over to the Pacers bench, and he's sitting down. And as is customary, the technical free throw will be shot when the players come back out before the beginning of the third quarter.
Yeah, so the sequence of events, as I understand it, Donte DiVincenzo jab step, squares up, hits his three, and then he gets back to defend. Nick showing a little bit of full court defense. He and Nembhard are tied up. Lose visual of whatever was said on the screen, but it was DiVincenzo getting back on defense that forced a pick.
Zach Zarba did not lose visual.
He did not.
As he teed up Andrew Nembhard. So a tough finish to the second quarter for the Knicks, but the DiVincenzo three, followed by the technical foul, and the Knicks, all things considered, only down by 10, 61-51.
The battle of the paint is where tonight's contest has really gotten away from you, 40-16, but you knew that this team was going to come out energized. There's a whole lot of basketball left to be played. Jalen Brunson has not been himself in this first half. Hopefully this second half will give him an opportunity to rejuvenate. But honestly, I would look for the Knicks to go back to Miles McBride, who was very successful versus Tyrese Halliburton. So there's adjustments to be made, I'm sure. 10-point ball game, you're feeling okay if you're the Knicks.
Halftime show coming up. Dan Grosso will recap the first half, and then Monica and I will be back for the second half of game number 6, a closeout opportunity for the Knicks. They still have work to do as they trail the Pacers 61-51 at the break. New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
If you ever volunteered to coach, mentor, tutor, or just be a positive role model to kids or young people, why not make a career of it? Become a youth development specialist where you will supervise and support young people in detention. It's a union job with a $51,000 starting salary, and you'll be making a positive impact on the lives of young New Yorkers. NYC residency not required. Apply to become a youth development specialist today at nyc.gov/YDS. That is nyc.gov/YDS.
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window & Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window and doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window & Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window & Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100, A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window & Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn or call 718-WINDOWS.
Now, it all started on a rainy Sunday, and I was enjoying a peaceful drive before the arrival of the in-laws when...
It's a disaster. That sneaky dog of yours got up on the counter and gobbled up the cake.
So I can pick up...
It's gotta be from the place off Highway 9. Hurry, they're almost here.
Luckily, my Nissan Altima was built to handle the unexpected. With available intelligent all-wheel drive, I was able to save the day without a slip-up.
You made it.
Piece of cake.
Drive the Nissan Altima. Now get a low $209 per month lease for 36 months on the 2024 Nissan Altima. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com.
Intelligent all-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions. Well-qualified lessees, 2024 Ultima SV front-wheel drive. $4049 initial payment excludes tax, title, license, and $695 acquisition fee. Includes $625 manufacturer's rebate applied to $209 per month lease. Disposition fee due at lease end. Take from new dealer stock. Call 1-888-858-8319 for offer details. N6324.
Sports fans, take your game day snack to a whole new level. Cibao Meat Products Jamoneta Campesino Salami, the MVP of flavor. Whether you're cheering for touchdowns or slam dunks, this Hispanic-style salami is a guaranteed crowd pleaser. Made with the finest ingredients and packed with zesty spices, Jamoneta Campesino Salami delivers a burst of savory goodness in every bite. Score big with Cibao Meat Jamoneta Campesino Salami. Available at your local supermarket. Remember, if you see our logo from the start, put it in your shopping cart. Cibao Meat Products, over half a century of tradition and quality.
Spectrum One is a big deal. You get Spectrum Internet with the most reliable internet speeds, free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and privacy, and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line with nationwide 5G included, all while saving big. For the big speed, big reliability, and big savings you want, get Spectrum One. Just $49.99 a month for 12 months. Visit spectrum.com/big deal for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
This is the Spectrum New York Knicks halftime show. Now, here's Dan Graca.
And it's time now for the New York Knicks halftime report, which is brought to you by Spectrum. Dan Graca with you. One half in the books in Indianapolis, and it is the Pacers who have grabbed a 61-51 halftime lead over the New York Knickerbockers. And it's time now for the first half spotlight, which is brought to you by BetMGM. This was a 2-point game with a little over 5 minutes to play in the first half, but Indiana goes on a 13-5 spurt to close out that first half to grab the double-digit lead. Big three-pointer by Dante DiVincenzo in the final seconds to get this one back to at least 10. But the Knicks have some things that they have to work on here in the second half if they want to climb back into this game and wrap up the series. Now, really, the brunt of the scoring is coming from two guys, Dante DiVincenzo and Deuce McBride. They both had 15 points, the only two in double figures, as a matter of fact, for this Knicks team. And Jalen Brunson struggling in the first half, just 5 points on 2 of 13 from the field. However, we've seen this before from Jalen, and he gets it going in the second half. Remember, this is a player who's averaged 10 points a game in the fourth quarter alone in these playoffs. Indiana, meantime, fueled by Pascal Siakam, who's got 15 points, and Miles Turner with 11 points as well. Tyrese Halliburton, relatively quiet, but has 8 points on just 5 field goal attempts. Remember the disparities between the wins and the losses for Halliburton so far in this series. In games that the Pacers have lost, he's only averaged about 11 field goal attempts per game, and he only has 5 there in the opening half. Another stat that jumps off the page at you if you're watching this game, free throw shooting. Knicks find themselves down 10. Well, they've missed 7 free throws already in the first half. They're just 6 of 13, and normally reliable shooters like Jalen Brunson, just 1 of 4 from the stripe. Dante DiVincenzo had a free throw that he missed. Precious Achiuwa missed a pair when he stepped up to the line. So that's something the Knicks will hopefully remedy coming up in half number 2. But the points in the paint, you heard Monica mention it too, right before the break. That's also an area where the Pacers are having their way with the Knicks here. 40-16. That's a plus 24 in favor of the home team in this one so far. So Knicks still hanging around, still, of course, very much in this basketball game with 2 full quarters still to play, but some things to clean up as they trail 61-51. And that was your first half spotlight presented by BetMGM. Get the BetMGM app today. Now you're winning with the king of sportsbooks. Please bet responsibly. Time now to take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Friday around the rest of the NBA. And, well, this is the only show in town. However, there's still 2 more series that need to be worked out in the Western Conference. Of course, the Celtics have already punched their ticket to the Eastern Conference Finals. They await the winner for a game number 1 coming up on Tuesday in Boston. Tomorrow night in Dallas, it'll be a game number 6 between the Mavericks and the Thunder, with Dallas having a 3-2 lead in that series. However, the road team has won the last 2 games in that best of 7. And then you have a Game 7 scheduled for Sunday. It'll be the Minnesota Timberwolves visiting the Denver
Denver Nuggets with that series tied up at 3 apiece. Still don't have a tip time yet. That's contingent upon the outcome of tonight's game between the Knicks and the Pacers. However, a weird back and forth in that series as the road team won the first 4 games, but the home team has held serve in each of the last 2. So still a couple more things to decide on the Western Conference side of things in these NBA playoffs. Our score here is 61-51 with the Pacers leading the Knickerbockers at halftime. Stick with MSG for pre- and post-game coverage for every game the Knicks play. You can watch on MSG or stream it for free on MSG Plus with an eligible TV subscription. Time now for this date in New York Knicks history, and we rewind back 29 years ago, May the 17th, 1995. That was when Patrick Ewing's short-running jumper with 1.8 seconds left brings the Knicks back from the edge of extinction, keeps them alive in the Eastern Conference semifinals with a 96-95 victory over the Pacers in Game 5 at Madison Square Garden. So that is this date in Knicks history. Of course, everybody knows what's at stake for the Knicks tonight if they can rally in the second half and wrap up this series and then claim their first ticket to the conference finals since the year 2000. And earlier today, following the shoot-around, Josh Hart was asked if he prefers the chance to end the series on the road or back at home at MSG.
Yeah, obviously we would love to have some closeout games at the Garden and give fans that kind of excitement. But, getting a win on ending a series on the road is always fun. Obviously, their crowd is going to be, crazy today, and if you're able to silence a crowd like that, obviously that's a great feeling. On the road, sometimes it's easier to focus because just, more so, not as many distractions, it's more about the guys in the locker room. So, it's fun to do that on the road, but, at some point, hopefully not this series, but at some point, we would like to end a playoff series at the Garden.
Fun times this time of year as well, especially from a couple of cities who have that built-in rivalry, namely New York and Boston. There's a possibility that you can have New York and Boston in both the Eastern Conference Finals in both hockey and basketball. Well, at least until a couple of moments ago, that was when the Florida Panthers scored a late goal to wrap up their series over the Bruins. So it'll be the Panthers taking on the Rangers in hockey's Eastern Conference Finals. But the possibility still exists between, of course, the Celtics and the New York Knickerbockers. And Josh was asked about that possibility, New York-Boston this time of year in both the NBA and the NHL.
Have I thought about it? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie and be like, no, yeah. You think about it, you think having Eastern Conference Finals, NBA and NHL, New York versus Boston, obviously that's cool. That's something that's we would love to do, but at the end of the day we gotta make sure we just focus on ourselves. This is not a easy team. This is not a team that's just gonna, they're down 3-2, they're gonna lay down and, call it a season. So we know we got to handle our business, but obviously if something like that happens, obviously I think that would be great for the city of New York, but also the city of Boston, and kind of just have that little rivalry going.
And that is Josh Hart. Once again, our score is 61-51 with the Pacers on top of the Knicks at halftime. Now it's time for the Knicks Keys to the Half, brought to you by Open Road Auto Group. We'll see if some of these other players that the Knicks usually rely on for some scoring can get on track in the second half. As we said, McBride and DiVincenzo each with 15, the only two in double figures. Jalen Brunson bit off his mark in the first half, just 2 of 13 from him. Josh Hart, who had to come in and out of this game on a couple of occasions, seems to have some sort of an abdominal issue there, getting treatment on his stomach, but Josh battling through in this one. He has 5 points. And then the free throw shooting, as we mentioned, just 6 of 13 that opening half for the New York Knickerbockers, and seeing if they could get a little bit more conversion rate, at least in the opportunities they get from the paint. They're getting good chances, they're getting good opportunities, just have not been able to bury them. And a plus 24 as far as the points in the paint are concerned. And that was the Knicks Keys to the Half, brought to you by Open Road Auto Group. Open Road Mercedes-Benz, BMW, and Audi offer excellent pricing and first-class experience. Choose Open Road for your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Visit us online at openroad.com. And that was the New York Knicks Halftime Report. It was brought to you by Spectrum. Get Spectrum One, fast and reliable internet for $39.99 a month, plus advanced Wi-Fi and a free unlimited mobile line. Both free for 12 months. Restrictions apply. Visit Spectrum.com for details. I'll rejoin you again in the postgame show, but coming up next, it'll be Pat O'Keefe and Monica McNutt. They've got the second half for you. The Pacers lead the Knicks 61-51. And you're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
has been the Spectrum New York Knicks halftime show. The second half is coming right up.
When Mercedes-Benz owners choose Open Road of Bridgewater, they choose the best of the best, because at Open Road Bridgewater, you can be sure to find excellent service, excellent pricing, and first-class experience. And that's why Mercedes-Benz named them the best of the best. They're honored to receive this prestigious award. Choose the best of the best. Choose Open Road of Bridgewater on Route 22 East, or visit them online at openroadmercedesbenz.com.
Spectrum One is a big deal. You get Spectrum Internet with the most reliable internet speeds, free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and privacy, and a free Spectrum Mobile unlimited line with nationwide 5G included, all while saving big. For the big speed, big reliability, and big savings you want, get Spectrum One. Just $49.99 a month for 12 months. Visit spectrum.com/big deal for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
While I talk for a living, and whether I'm in the studio or at the ballpark, I'm sure to have a cup of Bigelow tea by my side. There's nothing like fueling my voice, body, and soul with only the finest tea. Bigelow Earl Grey. This delightful blend of black tea and real bergamot oil is not your ordinary tea. It's a broadcaster's dream come true. Keeps me energized and focused throughout the broadcast, ensuring I deliver nothing but the best for my loyal listeners. So join the millions of fans that make Bigelow tea #1 in New York. Bigelow tea, the official hot tea of the New York Yankees.
NBA fans looking for infusion care that puts you first? ThriveWell Infusion specializes in delivering cutting-edge therapies for rare diseases and autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and multiple sclerosis. Trusted by physicians across specialties, ThriveWell offers private, state-of-the-art infusion suites and slam-dunk treatment from their highly trained medical team. From New York to New Jersey and across Long Island, experience care, comfort, convenience, and compassion like never before at a ThriveWell location near you. Find out more at ThriveWellInfusion.com. ThriveWell, saving lives, drip by drip.
Back here in Indianapolis, Pat O'Keefe and Monica McNutt with you. We get set to begin the second half. Monica, the Pacers outscored the Knicks by 11 in that second quarter, and their lead as we begin quarter number 3 is 61-51.
Yeah, there's a couple things with the Knicks that you don't love. Jalen Brunson made his first basket and then went 0 for 11, which is not good for the guy that is the head of the snake, undoubtedly, for the New York Knicks. But beyond that, points in the paint is an aggressive category in favor of the Pacers at 40-16. But if you really look at the second quarter, it was only 10-9 in favor of the Pacers. But they're the team that's been playing with more energy outside of that three-point shot that Dante DiVincenzo was able to hit to end the second quarter.
The second half is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the brand new Tullamore Dew Honey during tonight's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. So here's the technical free throw. Andrew Nembhard going into the locker room was assessed to tech. Jalen Brunson knocks it down. So the Knicks deficit is now 9.
All right, as we prepare to turn the page on the second quarter and the first half, the Pacers shot 72% in that second quarter. That will just not do. The Knicks are going to have to find a way to put up more resistance. And yes, Pascal Siakam has been having a terrific ball game. He's been really smart. He's been taking advantage of the mismatch to a degree versus Josh Hart, but the Knicks got to be better.
Brunson gets free off the inbound, down the lane, all the way to the basket. Finishes on the run.
One way to end the drought.
Somehow they lost Jalen Brunson. As you mentioned, Monica, he had missed his previous 11 shots. So the Knicks back within 7, 61-54. Siakam driving, step-back jumper over Hartenstein. No good. DiVincenzo the rebound. Knicks looking to push again. DiVincenzo on the right side. Crossover dribble. Now takes it to the basket on Neesmith. Bounce pass out left wing. McBride. High post Hartenstein. McBride gets it back, cuts to the basket. Lefty layup is good, and the Knicks back within 5. A quick timeout by the Pacers.
Great pass by Isaiah Hartenstein and a fantastic cut by Deuce McBride. We know that Isaiah Hartenstein looks for those backdoor cuts, and sometimes they get lost in translation because defenders can get their hand on them and deflect them. But the hard cut by Deuce McBride, understanding he needed to beat not just his defender, but also get in front of Pascal Siakam so that shot wouldn't get blocked, produced that play.
61-56. Knicks on an 8-0 run and back within 5. Let's pause 10 seconds to allow stations to identify themselves on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
This is your radio home for New York Knicks basketball. This is 98.7 ESPN, WEPN FM, New York.
The Pacers timeout comes with 11:22 to go in the third quarter. They lead the Knicks 61-56 here in game number 6. New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
Knicks fans, when deciding to take a charter bus, there's only one choice. That's Best Trails and Travel, New York City's premier charter bus company. Best Trails and Travel has the highest level of charter bus service in New York City and has been servicing New York's leading corporations, professional sports teams, and private individuals for over 25 years. They offer premium customer service and the newest fleet of buses in the industry. Whether you're traveling with family, friends, or colleagues, Best Trails and Travel guarantees you the ultimate travel experience. Visit them at besttrailstravel.com or call them at 212-206-6974.
It's the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event, so give your friends something to look at, like a B&B with an ocean view, an endless field of wildflowers, or a sunset that needs no filter. Make this a summer to share and save with a capable Kia SUV or powerful sedan. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Sale applies to purchase of specially tagged 2024 vehicles only. Quantities are limited. Must take delivery by 7/8/24.
Get a double-digit bonus exclusively for Knicks fans from Food Bazaar Supermarket. Take $10 off your order of $50 or more when you shop online at shop.foodbazaar.com. Plus, your first delivery is free. Go to shop.foodbazaar.com and use promo code FOODSAVE10 for the largest selection of international foods and all-star lineup of the freshest meat, seafood, and produce. And $10 off your first order of $50. Use promo code FOODSAVE10 at shop.foodbazaar.com.
Getting engaged will be one of the most exciting times of your life, and the winning team at London Jewelers is there to help you pop the question. The cutting-edge technology and trained professionals at London Jewelers can help you select a ring from their 2 by London collection or design the absolute perfect ring at any budget. So whether you're starting out or starting over, let the engagement experts at London Jewelers help you. Visit London Jewelers at any of their 7 locations, including Americana Manhasset and the Mall at Short Hills.
Back here in Indianapolis, 11:22 to go in the third quarter. Pacers lead the Knicks 61-56. But Monica, you go back to that Dante DiVincenzo three-pointer with 1.2 seconds to go in the second quarter. That jump-started what is now an 8-0 Knicks run.
Aggressiveness, right? In the second quarter, I thought they were not as decisive, and I thought, frankly, Jalen Brunson, on that tough run of missing shots, took some shots that he forced and pressed a little bit. So now the Knicks, first of all, the Knicks are going to have to find themselves defensively. They got to lock in on that side of the basketball. You can't allow a team to shoot 72% in a ball game like they did in the second quarter and expect to survive that.
Rick Carlisle calling a timeout 38 seconds into the third quarter. Pacers ball Nembhard. One-on-one with DiVincenzo. Drives, knocked out of his hands by DiVincenzo. Nembhard gets it back, kicks it out. Halliburton, left wing. Nembhard fires a three-pointer and knocks it down.
Andrew Nembhard has just had that kind of rhythm, right? A near steal turns into a three-point shot.
Just ahead of the shot clock expiring, Nembhard has 9. The Pacers lead is back up to 8. Here's Brunson on the right wing working against Neesmith. Behind the back, Brunson a little hop in his step here to begin the third quarter. As I say that, he throws the ball out of bounds intended for Josh Hart.
Yeah, just a miscommunication between he and Hart. Halliburton left Hart to go and double Brunson.
Here's Nembhard into the front court, bounce pass high post Siakam, and now Halliburton with a head of steam, taking it towards the basket. Ball back, right baseline jumper, too strong. Brunson taps the rebound, so does Hartenstein. It's tapped into the backcourt where it's recovered by Turner. 12 seconds to shoot. Halliburton lines up a deep left side three. That's good, and the Pacers are back on top by 11. And Tom Thibodeau calls a quick timeout.
Knicks really got to regroup, but then we saw this in the first quarter. Second chance opportunities off of offensive rebounds really put the Knicks in a scramble with this smaller lineup. Josh Hart, to start that possession, was battling with Miles Turner. Interesting decision for the Pacers not to go to him, but ultimately the smaller lineup is put in a tough position when the Pacers regroup on an offense in the ball.
Dueling timeouts called by these two veteran head coaches. We have played 1 minute and 42 seconds of the third quarter, and each team has called for a timeout. We'll step away. 10:18 to go in the third. Pacers 67, Knicks 56. And you're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window and Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window and doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window and Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window and Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100, A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window and Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn or call 718-WINDOWS.
I like what I like, and I do what I want.
If what you like is playing the loosest slots, getting the most free play, and finding more of your favorite games, all on a spacious upscale gaming floor, then Wind Creek Bethlehem is your kind of fabulous. No matter what fabulous means to you, you'll find it here. Wind Creek Bethlehem. Must be 21 years of age. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
John, this is Celeste from Richmond Hill. I want a Kia.
Hey, John, this is Quan from Flushing. I want a Kia.
Hey, John, this is David from Jamaica. I want a Kia.
Hi, I'm John Stark. Our all-star team will always put your needs first, making sure you will always get a slam dunk deal here at John Stark Kia.
Lease a Kia EV6 for $299 a month with 0 down payment. $949 due at signing. No security deposit required. 10K miles per year. Excludes tax, title, and MP fees. Expires June 3rd.
John Stark Kia. Stand tall.
Want to stay cool for the next 2 summers without spending a penny? Sloman's has the AC offer of the century. Get 18 months with 0 payments and 0 interest. That's right. You don't need to make any payments for 18 months. Plus, Sloman's offers next day installation. Get an AC system installed as early as tomorrow with no payments for 18 months interest free. Call 516-932-7000 to get your free estimate. That's 516-932-7000.
18-month promo period. No payment, no interest, and no down payment offer. This offer is available through a third-party bank. On approved credit, interest is waived if loan is repaid in full during the same as cash period. Terms and conditions apply.
Back here in Indy, Game 6, 10:18 to go, third quarter. Pat O'Keefe and Monica McNutt. Knicks had cut it to 5 just a minute ago, Monica, and then back-to-back three-pointers by Andrew Nembhard, and then a wide-open one knocked down by Tyrese Halliburton. Pacers back up by 11, leading to this Tom Thibodeau timeout.
Yeah, remember at the end of the first quarter, Pacers shooting just under 30%, officially 30.8% at the end of the half, and now that percentage has climbed to 40% as they're now 6 of 15 from the three-point line. They understood the mandate of needing to be much more physical and tough in tonight's ball game, and the Knicks need to respond.
Pacers out-rebounding the Knicks so far tonight, 27-22. They have 8 offensive rebounds, leading to 15 second-chance points. A stark contrast to their performance in game number 5. Knicks ball out of the timeout. Hartenstein has it top of the arc, hands to Brunson, center of the court. Brunson brings it back right side with the right-handed dribble. Working one-on-one with Neesmith. Pulls up, 10-foot jumper is good for Jalen Brunson.
He's got a little bit more pep in his step and lift on his jump shot.
Knicks back within 9. Nembhard has it left wing. Up top pass for Turner. Hart is matched up with Turner, who gets rid of it to Siakam. Siakam hands to Halliburton, around the Siakam screen, stops his dribble left wing, high post pass Siakam. 6 seconds to shoot. Siakam down the lane, kicks it out. Turner makes the three right side, drives off the glass and in. 69-58. Knicks down, 9:28 to go in the third. Siakam guarding Hart, reaching in, trying to poke the ball free. Now Brunson has it right wing. Neesmith all the way up on him. Brunson, center of the court, frees himself of Neesmith, kicks it out. Hart's wide open. Three-pointer, no good. Rebound falls to the floor. Neesmith dives on top of it and outlets it to Halliburton. Halliburton crossover dribble around McBride into the corner for Nembhard. Right back to Halliburton. Neesmith, left wing, three-pointer, no good off the back of the rim. Turner's putback slam is good, and the Knicks trail by 13.
Miles Turner has been a difference maker in tonight's ball game, now with 15 points and 5 rebounds. This is the most aggressive he's been in the entire series.
10-2 run for the Pacers out of that Rick Carlisle timeout. Brunson bottled up just inside midcourt. Picks up his dribble, finds Hart at the top of the arc, down the lane. Hart switches to the left hand, too strong on the layup. Ball batted around, taken by Halliburton. 8:30 to go. Knicks down by 13. Halliburton stops his dribble on the right wing. Little pitch and catch with Turner. Halliburton has it back, guarded closely by McBride. Around a Turner screen, Halliburton cuts back right side. Pops a contested three-pointer, too strong, off the top of the backboard, and it hits the shot clock out of bounds. It fell into the basket, but it had already hit the shot clock and was whistled out of bounds.
If this was a halftime spectacle, like the cute little collie dog, then that would have counted. But this is a regulation game.
Those collie dogs and frisbees were impressive. 71-58, Knicks down 13. 8:05 to go in the third. Backdoor cut. Hartenstein finds Brunson, who makes the right-handed layup. He almost missed it, Monica.
Man, that ball danced around on the rim way too much.
71-60, Knicks down 11. Little pick and roll in the hands of Siakam, trying to step through against Hartenstein. Kicks it back out, Nesmith, and now Halliburton. Plenty of time to shoot for the Pacers. 9 on the shot clock. Halliburton picks up his dribble, left elbow, high post Siakam. Now 4 seconds to shoot. Fires a jumper and hits over Hartenstein.
So Hartenstein is guarding Siakam, and Hart is guarding Turner, trying to put a little bit more size on Siakam. He made a good read there and just shot over Hartenstein.
73-60 Pacers. 7:28 to go in the third. Nesmith up on Brunson between the circles. McBride comes to set him a screen. Brunson goes away from the screen to the right side, flips it up and in. Jalen Brunson starting to heat up. He's got 14.
Would have been a little contact on that one as well, but the basket counts.
73-62. Halliburton looking to answer up top for Siakam. Halliburton has it back on the left wing. Hartenstein guarding Halliburton, as he has often throughout this series. Here's Halliburton, little side-to-side dribble, runs into Hartenstein and backs out with the dribble. 5 seconds to shoot. Spinning pass out to Turner. 2 seconds to shoot. Turner, step-back jumper, well short. Rebounded by Hart. Knicks looking to push. Hart, center of the court, has Brunson on his right side. Goes left side for McBride. His three is off the heel of the rim. Long rebound picked up by Nembhard. Into the front court for Nembhard. Lob pass underneath. Siakam gathers, comes up short, but he was fouled as Siakam falls to the floor.
Willing to live with fouls at the rim that do not result in and one plays.
Second foul against Dante DiVincenzo will send Pascal Siakam back to the line where he's 1 for 2 tonight.
I'm not sure exactly what the collision was. Well, I know it was with Pascal Siakam. But however Josh Hart got hit in that first quarter, it's lingering as he's just asked to come out of the ballgame.
And Precious Achiuwa is at the scorer's table, ready to check back in. We saw Josh Hart walk out of the locker room at the beginning of the third quarter, and he was still holding his side, the affected area, from very early in this game.
I'm not a doctor, and I don't want to speculate, but it's very rare that we see Josh asked to come out of the ball game. And it could be the culmination of all the minutes played in addition to this hit, whatever it was. And maybe he just needs a second to get himself together.
He slowly walks to the end of the Knicks bench. First free throw for Siakam was good with 6:39 to go here in the third. Siakam, his second, also good. Pascal Siakam now with 19 points, and the Knicks trail once again by 13. Here's McBride across the timeline, guarded loosely by Halliburton. Brunson trying to pop free. Now Brunson has it, brings it center of the court. Brunson trying to turn the corner. One-on-one with Nesmith. Brunson with 9 points already in the quarter. Takes it out. McBride, deep two-pointer is good from the right wing. His foot was on the line.
Oh, man, that toe.
75-64. Knicks down 11. 6:09 to go in the third. DiVincenzo pesters Nembhard around the Siakam screen. Flips the pass, loses the handle, it's loose. Siakam fighting to get it back into the hands of Nembhard. 6 seconds to shoot. Nembhard from the foul line. Pump fake. Knocked out of his hands. Into the hands of Siakam. Top of the key jumper is good.
Momentum here in Gainbridge Fieldhouse is on the side of the Pacers because that's a couple of times now where the Knicks are nearly coming up with steals, and then late in the shot clock, the Pacers just hit basket.
Right now, the ball is bouncing the Pacers' way. Brunson stops his dribble, finds McBride, fires again, in and out. Good box out and rebound by Turner. 5:30 to go in the third. Knicks down 13. Here's Halliburton down the lane into the corner, deflected out of bounds, off of the Knicks.
After a monster rebounding performance by Isaiah Hartenstein, he's been limited to just 4 rebounds in tonight's contest. You've got 3 guys with 6 for the Pacers and 2 with 5 each when you look at their starting lineup.
Achua drawing the defensive assignment right now of Pascal Siakam, who's been the Pacers' best offensive player tonight. Halliburton dribbling through traffic, stops, turns, his jumper is good.
Now Tyrese Halliburton talking trash to Miles McBride.
79-64. This is the Pacers' largest lead of Game 6. Neesmith guarding Brunson, who gets it off to Hartenstein. Now Hartenstein, couple dribbles to his left, all the way to the basket, scoop pass inside, and Achua is fouled on the pump fake. They're going to say the foul occurred on the floor.
All right, partner, we're entering a tricky time in this ball game. If the Knicks can't dig into this thing and make some real headway with a Game 7 looming.
McBride got free backdoor, but the ball slipped out of his hands and out of bounds. Knicks turn it over.
So Game 7 looming with an early start, an afternoon tip, similar to the position that the team was put in last time they were here when they played on Mother's Day between Games 3 and 4.
They trail by 15 now with 4:45 to go. Siakam down the lane, kicks it back up top for Halliburton. Halliburton uses the Siakam screen. McBride guarding Halliburton. Step back three. It's a long two-pointer for Tyrese Halliburton. Pacers lead by 17 points. It's 81-64. 4:25 to go. Brunson in the front court. One-on-one with Neesmith. Top of the arc pass for Hartenstein. Brunson has it back between the circles. Brunson goes right side and is fouled by Neesmith. That'll be his third. And the second team foul against Indiana.
Tough assignment for Aaron Neesmith. Even when he is doing a solid job versus Jalen Brunson, it's still a tough assignment because Brunson is so crafty.
Rick Carlisle going to his bench for the first time in this quarter. Obi Toppin and T.J. McConnell replaced Siakam and Neesmith. They just made the announcement, Monica, that long two in which they initially ruled that McBride's foot was on the line. It was not on the line. It was behind the line. So the three-pointer for Deuce McBride is good. Knicks get an extra point, and they now trail 81-65. 4:15 to go. Off the inbound, Brunson has his foul line area. McConnell now guarding him and poking at the basketball. Brunson backs out, wants a runway. In and out dribble, knocked away by McConnell. Brunson gets it back, 1 second to shoot, finds Hartenstein. Did he get it off in time? He did not. It's a shot clock violation against the Knicks.
Pacers just playing smarter and with a ton of energy in this one.
So McConnell handling the ball right now, guarded by McBride around a Turner screen. McConnell has it, top of the arc. Now around another Turner screen. Pull-up jumper, 12 feet away, no good, off the side of the rim, rebounded by Hartenstein. Hartenstein's fifth board. Brunson pulls up three, right side, no good off the back of the rim. Hartenstein has the rebound knocked out of his hands and scooped up by Halliburton with 3:35 to play in the third. Toppin left wing wants to drive on Achua, is cut off, gives it back to Halliburton. Guarded by DiVincenzo on the left baseline. Halliburton leaves his feet, and it hits the foot of Nembhard, taken by Achua, ahead to DiVincenzo, back to Achua, who's fouled hard by McConnell, going to the basket.
No layup rule, so you can't be mad at that one. Woo! Partner, this is not the way that the Knicks envisioned this ball game going for sure.
The rebounding story has been vastly different tonight for the Pacers. They have a 33-24 edge on the glass as Achua goes back to the free throw line. First one is good.
Rebounding is a different story in tonight's ball game. And then when you look at the totality of this one, just 9 fast break points combined in that one. Knicks have a 1-point advantage in that category, 5-4. But it's just been all about sitting down in the half court and trying to beat this Pacers defense that is far more attentive here at home than they are on the road.
One more free throw coming for Precious Achua, but Rick Carlisle calls timeout with 3:19 to go in the third quarter. Knicks trailing 81-66. The Pacers' largest lead so far has been 16 points. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. It is brought to you by Best Trails and Travel as we move towards the end of the second round in the NBA playoffs. This the only game tonight. Tomorrow night, you have a Game 6 in Dallas, the Mavericks and the Thunder, and the Mavericks lead it 3-2, so they'll have an opportunity to close out that series on their home floor. And then on Sunday, you have a Game 7 in Denver between the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. That'll be at Ball Arena in the Mile High City. And, of course, Monica, if the Pacers win this game, this series will also go to a 7th game, which would be on Sunday, a 3:30 tip at Madison Square Garden.
The Knicks have their work cut out for them if they're going to avoid that. But again, we mentioned this with about 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. The big picture begins to come into play because 3:30 is a short turnaround. Do you fight to try to get this one done? Or if you can't make significant enough headway, do you empty your bench and allow your starters to begin to rest to prepare for the decisive Game 7 back at the Garden?
That's the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Best Trails and Travel, New York City's premier charter bus company. Visit them today for the ultimate travel experience at besttrailstravel.com. So one more free throw for Precious Achiuwa out of the Pacers timeout. 3:19 to go. Third quarter, 81-66. Down by 15. Achiuwa tonight, 5 points, 5 rebounds, and a block shot in 13 minutes so far. Second free throw is well short, rebounded by Shepard. The Knicks, 8 for 16 at the foul line tonight. DiVincenzo guards McConnell in the front court. Around a Siakam screen. Now Siakam pops out, has it right side. Hands to Shepard, back to McConnell. Right back to Siakam, right side. Pulls up over Achiuwa, jumper, no good. Rebound tapped up by Nembhard, no good. Taken by Burks, who just returned to the game. Brunson tries right at Toppin, floater over him, short. Putback is no good by Josh Hart. Rebound taken by Siakam. Siakam outlet pass to McConnell, who sprints inside the paint all the way to the basket, off balance, count it, and the foul against Josh Hart.
This is a tough call against Hart. He goes up vertically, in my mind. He looks at the bench, but there seems to be no indication of trying to challenge this one.
DJ McConnell trying to finish the three-point play with 2:39 to go. He has 8 points. Free throw is good. 9 points for McConnell off the bench. And the Knicks nearly turned the ball over on the inbounds. It was knocked out of bounds by McConnell. Now the scorer's table is blowing the horn to try to get the officials' attention. They want to make sure that the last foul called was applied to the correct Knick. It was announced as a foul against Josh Hart. Everything now is sorted out. Knicks will inbound down by 18 here in the third. Brunson lobs it into DiVincenzo. Knicks have 4 seconds to get it over the timeline, and they do. DiVincenzo inside the paint to the basket, no good. But he draws the foul, initiating contact against Andrew Nembhard.
You know, partner, this has been a tough night all around for the Knicks, but particularly when you mentioned 8 of 16 from the free throw line, that is a dismal 50% for a team that usually shoots much better. I'm not saying that 8 points is the ball game, but it's at least almost half of this deficit.
First free throw for DiVincenzo is good. He has 16 points. The Knicks in the playoffs coming into tonight, 75% from the foul line. A higher percentage than tonight for sure, but in the playoffs, they've been the third worst free throw shooting team in the NBA.
They're going to have to really dig deep because you're getting close to decision time.
DiVincenzo hits them both. Knicks down by 16, 2:20 to go. Siakam top of the arc, left wing. Nembhard drives on Burks, fouled by Burks with 2:16 to go. First foul against Alec Burks. Knicks not yet over the limit. In fact, they still have one foul to get.
Dante DiVincenzo just looks back at his teammates and tries to clap him up. The dig has to be real.
DiVincenzo trying to catch up to McConnell, who pulls up, foul line jumper, knocks it down.
The Pacers' efficiency here versus on the road is incredibly stunning.
55% from the field for Indiana. They lead by 18 points. Brunson tries to drive on McConnell. Now he's picked up by Toppin on a switch. McConnell picks him back up underneath feet. Achua gets free for an open layup. 86-70. Minute 45 to go in the third. Shepherd right wing, up top pass for Siakam. Guarded by Achua. Siakam one dribble to his left, hands to Nembhard. Nembhard cross-court feed. Toppin, one quick pass to Shepherd. His three is no good. Brunson fighting for the rebound. It's knocked out of bounds off of Siakam.
So if you can get this thing to 10 in the next 90 seconds, then you're alive again. I'm sure that head coach Tom Thibodeau probably will let that play out a little bit into the fourth quarter as well. But you got to get this thing to 10 or better.
Brunson across the timeline, guarded closely by McConnell. Now circled towards the top of the arc. Fakes the three. Left wing pass for Hart. 7 seconds to shoot. Brunson guarded by Toppin. Crosses over on him, steps through, flips it up and in over the outstretched arm of Pascal Siakam.
Stops are imperative. You got to string together stops here.
Down to 14 is the Knicks deficit. McConnell working from the right wing. Brunson a step and a half off of him. McConnell underneath feet. Shepherd one dribble. Blocked by Achua. And there's a whistle. Did they call that a goaltend? They did. Tom Thibodeau wants to know if he should challenge.
This one is going to be interesting because Nembhard doesn't go. Yeah. Precious Achua gets this off the glass. It's a reverse layup by Nembhard, and so Precious Achua meets it before it would have kissed off the glass.
Well, Tom Thibodeau has signaled for a timeout. He is electing to use his challenge here with 52.3 seconds to go in the third quarter, and the Knicks trailing.
Pending violation, New York is challenging the rule.
That was the voice of our crew chief, Zach Zarba. So we're watching this full replay through, Monica, again, because, of course, there's always two parts to these. Was it, in fact, not a goaltending? And if that is the case, did the Knicks have imminent possession?
Josh Hart has it.
The question is, did Achua make contact with the basketball before it hit the backboard? Precious Achua is so quick off of his feet.
He clearly gets it before it gets to the backboard.
We're having a couple good looks at it on our monitor as well as the video monitor above the court here inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The big call right here. As it stands now, it's 88-72. But if this call is overturned, the Knicks would have the ball back, trailing by 14 points with 52 seconds to go in the third. Right now, Zach Zarba is the only one of our three officials at the replay monitor. Now he brings in John Goebel and David Guthrie to have one final discussion. Both teams, meanwhile, but particularly the Knicks, because of their rotation, getting a much-needed rest right now.
After review, the block has been deemed legal. Therefore, this is a successful challenge. Due to the imminent possession going to no team, ball will be resumed with a jump ball center circle between any two players in the game. Successful challenge.
Oh, the jump ball.
Well, the ball did bounce into the hands of Josh Hart. However, the whistle blew before that happened.
Correct.
So the reason for that could have been players on the Pacers stopping because of the whistle. So that's why we have a jump ball at center court. Take the points off the board. That's the most important thing. The Knicks keep their timeout, and they keep their challenge.
We talked about the opportunity to try to get this thing to 10. They are closer with that stop. Now, this is a hugely important jump ball opportunity because it would give you a chance to squeeze out 3 possessions potentially.
Achua and Toppin wins the tap. So the Pacers get another crack at this. McConnell on the left wing. 44 seconds to go, third quarter. That's Siakam, top of the arc against Achua. Between his legs, Siakam gets it back. Jab step against Achua. Towards the foul line, kicks it back up. Toppin, a deep three, left-hand side, air ball. McConnell, in one motion, over his head, flips it in off the backboard.
An absolute air ball right into the lap of T.J. McConnell.
88-72. Pacers get that bucket back and run some more time off the clock. 10 seconds to shoot for the Knicks here at the end of the third quarter. Brunson 3 is good from the right wing. Jalen Brunson up to 19 points. The Knicks are within 13. They need to stop here. 10 seconds to go. Shot clock off. McConnell runs into Brunson. It's a blocking foul against Jalen Brunson.
That'll stop the clock.
Now, Monica, it's the second against Brunson, the first in the last 2 minutes for the Knicks. So no free throws for T.J. McConnell, and inbounds in the front court for the Pacers. And for that possession, Carlisle sends Halliburton back in the game.
I'm still mystified at the McConnell cleanup of the air ball by Obi Toppin. Like, that is home energy, home cooking momentum if I ever saw it.
McConnell to the bench, replaced by Halliburton. Tom Thibodeau responds by putting McBride in the game for Brunson. Inbound Neesmith, left side, into the hands of Halliburton. 4 seconds to go. Halliburton down the lane, kicks it up top. Toppin fakes the three and traveled with 9/10 of a second to go in the quarter. And now Jalen Brunson walks back to the scorer's table for the Knicks' final possession. The chess match between these two head coaches. Brunson in, McConnell in. McBride out, Halliburton out.
It's a whole lot of movement for .9.
And the Knicks inbound in the backcourt adjacent to their bench. Got to be smart here.
Yeah, the work on this one is before the inbounds, truly.
Josh Hart throwing it in the front court. Brunson catches, fires, no good. Off the backboard and rim and off. So the Knicks trailing by 10 at halftime. Trail by 13 entering the fourth quarter.
Well, you're a possession away from making it 10, and you got to continue to dig in it. Now, this is reminiscent of Game 3 in terms of Rick Carlisle. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't have his starters on the floor to start this for so that they can be rested. In case the Knicks do chip into this lead, he'll be putting fresh bodies on the floor to compete with them.
Fourth quarter coming up from Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Game number 6. Pacers looking to keep their season alive. They lead the Knicks 88-75. New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York, and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
Have you ever driven across the Whitestone Bridge and wondered who could possibly paint this? The New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association. That's who. With our local 806 partners, members of the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association work hard to ensure New York City's bridges, roads, and rails are safe, beautiful, and ready for the future. You've seen our work. The New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association partnered with the New York Department of Transportation on the iconic Brooklyn Bridge, applying new coatings seen by thousands of people and captured in selfies every day. That's just one of the many pieces of iconic steel structures that the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association has helped revitalize. Every day you see subway stops, bridges, highway ramps, and steel structures restored and painted by us. We're the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association, adding a little color to the Big Apple. To learn more about our association and career opportunities, visit nySSPCA.net.
The NBA playoffs are here, and the New York Knicks are in. It's time to hit the court with BetMGM, an authorized betting partner of the NBA. Download the BetMGM app and make every playoff game, every vital play mean more than ever. Find out why basketball fans love BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Madison Square Garden and the New York Knicks. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years or older to wager and physically present in New York or New Jersey only. Gambling problem in New York? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Open Road BMW. Come visit their newly constructed state-of-the-art BMW dealership, conveniently located on Route 1 in Edison, New Jersey. Here you'll find over 7 acres of new and certified pre-owned BMWs ready for immediate delivery. If you need world-class service, their 50 service bays and the convenience of over 100 customer loaner cars are at your service. For an exceptional BMW buying experience in one of the Tri-State's largest BMW facilities, visit OpenRoadBMW.com.
Here we go. Come on.
Back here inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse, we get set for the beginning of the fourth quarter. Pat O'Keefe and Monica McNutt with you on this Friday night. Knicks trail 88-75. Monica looking for another fourth quarter push in their attempt to wrap up this series here this evening.
It's going to require this team to dig deep. We know that they played a ton of minutes. They're coming off of 2 days rest, which is the first break that they've had in this series after going every other day in this one. Tyrese Halliburton is not starting this fourth quarter, as we anticipated from Rick Carlisle. Pascal Siakam and Aaron Nesmith are the only starters that are out on the floor. And for the Knicks, you're looking at Hart, Brunson, and Dante DiVincenzo of your starting unit.
Alec Burks and Precious Achiuwa on the floor as well, rounding out the Knicks 5. McConnell guarded by DiVincenzo on the first possession of the fourth quarter. McConnell has it between the circles, behind the back dribble towards the foul line. Drives around Hart, lays it up, and gets the roll. TJ McConnell has really hurt the Knicks off the bench tonight. They trail by 15 points.
That is the 15 points that he had
in just 13 minutes off the bench. Here's Brunson around the screen from the top of the arc. Bounce pass, left block, Hart. Pump fake. Good closeout by Isaiah Jackson. Hart hands the ball to DiVincenzo. 2 seconds to shoot. DiVincenzo's got a fire off the side of the rim. Jackson grabs the rebound. Pacers out-rebounded the Knicks 12-5 in the third quarter. Lob pass down low for Jackson, matched up with Brunson. Turns on him, flips it up and in.
Not sure why Brunson was guarding Jackson and not Hart. Hart was out on the perimeter versus Nesmith. That matchup was mismatched between Brunson and Hart.
Back-to-back buckets for the Pacers to begin the fourth quarter. They lead 92-75. And Alec Burks is fouled by Ben Shepherd, the reach-in on the perimeter. First foul against Shepherd, first of the quarter against Indy. So the Knicks will inbound front court left side. DiVincenzo walks over.
That might be a matchup that the Knicks need to look to exploit, because at least Alec Burks is drawing fouls.
Here's Hart off the inbound to Brunson. Brunson brings it right side around an Achiuwa screen towards the foul line area. Bounce pass underneath. Achiuwa's layup is good.
He's been really great and alert to catch Jalen Brunson passes right at the rim.
Knicks down by 15. Into the right corner for Siakam. Cut off by Achiuwa. Siakam dribbles all the way out top of the arc. Now drives from the left side. Kicks it up top, Nesmith. Touch pass, McConnell. 10-foot jumper is short. Rebound tap, taken by Jackson. Saves it into the hands of Shepherd on the left wing. Back to McConnell. 8 seconds to shoot. McConnell, bounce pass, high post. Siakam's jumper is good.
Siakam's having a terrific night now with 23 points. But again, a second chance opportunity, as it's the Pacers with 21 points off of those opportunities in this one.
2 minutes gone by in the fourth. Knicks down by 17. Brunson crossover dribble, gets around Nesmith, floats it up, no good, but a foul against Aaron Nesmith, his fourth and the second against the Pacers.
An important stoppage in the clock for guys to get a chance to catch their breath. These are vitally important free throws. To me, partner, you're looking at the next 4 minutes or so to make something happen in this ball game, and then you got to start thinking about Sunday.
Game 7 would be Sunday, 3:30. At Madison Square Garden. The home team has won every game so far in this series. Brunson's first free throw is good, giving him 20 points.
I'm sure Knicks fans watching on television are being hopeful and optimistic as Josh Hart is just given a heating pad to put on the left side of his body. No news officially in terms of what he's dealing with, but clearly in discomfort.
Deuce McBride is at the scorer's table right now. He's waiting to check in for Brunson. So Tom Thibodeau is going to give Brunson a break here in the fourth quarter at the next stoppage. Brunson hits both free throws. He's got 21 points. Knicks trail 94-79. Siakam between the circles, brings it right wing. Brunson jumps out at him. Siakam, 2 long strides down the lane, kicks it up top for McConnell. Right side pass Jackson, high post Siakam. Another jumper for him is good. He's had that shot all night.
Yeah, literally, the same spot.
Knicks down by 17 points, 96-79. 9:25 to go in the fourth. Siakam's got 25. Hartenstein back in. Bounce pass out of the reach of Brunson. A turnover. Stolen by Siakam. Spins away from trouble down the lane. Into the right corner. Nembhard 3 off the heel of the rim. Achiuwa fouling Isaiah Jackson on the offensive rebounding attempt.
Yeah, not in necessarily sound position to box out. Achiuwa's tied up with Jackson. Basically got his hand in his chest, kind of moving him off of the left block.
McBride replaces Brunson with 9:11 to go in the fourth quarter, and we'll keep an eye on Brunson. If the Knicks don't further cut into this lead, maybe he doesn't come back in. Knicks are down by 17. Siakam, foul line jumper again. That one's too strong. And another whistle against the Knicks. The Pacers are doing a terrific job on the offensive board.
None of the 50-50 opportunities or calls are going in the favor of the Knicks.
Loose ball foul against Hartenstein. Second team foul against the Knicks, and the second of the game against Hartenstein. Nobody on the Knicks in foul trouble right now. 9 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Siakam drives on Achua, spins, flips it up short. Offensive rebound, Shepard poked away and saved by DiVincenzo. Here come the Knicks. DiVincenzo across the timeline, towards the top. Fakes the three, right side Hartenstein. Right back to DiVincenzo. His three-pointer is no good. Achua the offensive rebound, and a foul against Nembhard.
That's a good-looking shot by Donte DiVincenzo. Smart play, a little give and go with Isaiah Hartenstein so that he could come going toward his right side and square up. A soft miss, but that doesn't help you right now.
Rick Carlisle going back to his bench. Miles Turner and Obi Toppin in for Siakam and Isaiah Jackson.
Josh Hart went back to the locker room.
96-79, 8:40 to go. McBride right wing for Burks. Bounce pass into the corner. Hartenstein. Burks gets it back. Run into and fouled by Miles Turner. Turner's third. And that'll be the fourth team foul against the Pacers. With 8:36 to go, we'll see if that's something the Knicks can take advantage of.
It would certainly behoove them to figure out how to do so, but it's been Alec Burks who's been able to draw fouls by attacking off dribble penetration.
Hartenstein drives the lane, blocked by Turner, saved into the hands of McConnell. Blocked that one against the backboard. McConnell sees an opening, drives, kicks it to Nembhard. His three is good from the right corner. It's a 20-point Pacers lead. Timeout, Knicks.
That might be it, partner. And as you look at it, there aren't a ton of bodies left for the New York Knicks, even if they are going to pull their starters at this point. Alec Burks and Deuce McBride have all had to play vital minutes in this one.
The largest lead of the night so far. It is 99-79 with 8:22 remaining in the fourth quarter here at Indy. Tom Thibodeau calls a timeout. We'll step away as well. You're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
It's a Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event, so give your friends something to look at, like a B&B with an ocean view, an endless field of wildflowers, or a sunset that needs no filter. Make this a summer to share and save with a capable Kia SUV or powerful sedan. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Sale applies to purchase of specially tagged 2024 vehicles only. Quantities are limited. Must take delivery by 7/8/24.
Knicks fans, when deciding to take a charter bus, there's only one choice. That's Best Trails and Travel, New York City's premier charter bus company. Best Trails and Travel has the highest level of charter bus service in New York City and has been servicing New York's leading corporations, professional sports teams, and private individuals for over 25 years. They offer premium customer service and the newest fleet of buses in the industry. Whether you're traveling with family, friends, or colleagues, Best Trails and Travel guarantees you the ultimate travel experience. Visit them at besttrailstravel.com or call them at 212-206-6974.
I'm a New Yorker. I want to contribute to public safety.
I want a six-figure salary.
I want to get paid after I retire. I want to take my kids on vacation.
New York City Department of Correction Officer jobs are available now for strong, brave, bold New Yorkers with problem-solving and communication skills. Most earn more than $85,000 in their first year. Register today. Search the words City Exams on your phone, click, then scroll to Correction Officer.
Want to serve with a purpose? Take the test. Join, discover New York City Corrections. Take the test.
Well, I talk for a living, and whether I'm in the studio or at the ballpark, I'm sure to have a cup of Bigelow tea by my side. There's nothing like fueling my voice, body, and soul with only the finest tea. Bigelow Earl Grey. This delightful blend of black tea and real bergamot oil is not your ordinary tea. It's a broadcaster's dream come true. Keeps me energized and focused throughout the broadcast, ensuring I deliver nothing but the best for my loyal listeners. So join the millions of fans that make Bigelow tea #1 in New York. Bigelow tea, the official hot tea of the New York Yankees.
Your sweet, shareable summer awaits. Head to your local Kia dealer and check out the Tech Forward Forte, or a capable SUV. Kia, movement that inspires. Pacers have their largest lead of the night right now, 99-79, 8:22 to go in the fourth quarter. Indiana looking to extend this series to a decisive Game 7, which will be on Sunday afternoon at Madison Square Garden. Monica, we're keeping an eye on the Knicks personnel. Tom Thibodeau sending back out Deuce McBride, Alec Burks, Dante DiVincenzo, Precious Achiuwa, and Isaiah Hartenstein. It's loud in here.
It's loud in here, and it's getting late early if you're the Knicks. After knocking down 3 threes in the first half, Dante DiVincenzo has been unable to connect in the second. Alec Burks, his scoring of the last 2 outings has not traveled in this one, and Isaiah Hartenstein has been a huge focus on behalf of the Pacers in terms of keeping him off the glass, and they've done a decent job. He only has 5 rebounds and 6 assists tonight.
Brunson on the bench for the Knicks, down by 20. Burks picks up his dribble right wing, up top for Achiuwa, back to Burks. Achiuwa rolls to the basket. DiVincenzo, right wing, fakes the 3, drives on Nembhard, flips it up with the right hand, no good. Rebounded by Toppin. Outlet to Halliburton. Lob pass. Turner down the lane into the corner. Shepard, 3-pointer is good. Jalen Brunson is up, walking towards the scorer's table after a quick word from Tom Thibodeau. Knicks trail by 23 points. Nembhard all the way up on DiVincenzo.
Thankfully, this game is a Friday, so we don't have to hear everybody argue about the decision-making.
DiVincenzo's layup is no good. Achiuwa grabs the offensive rebound. There is a foul inside as DiVincenzo was slow to his feet. Foul is against the Pacers. The basket by Achiuwa is good, and Achiuwa will go to the line. A chance at a 3-point play.
Every opportunity to chip into this lead without the clock running is, I cannot overstate, humongous for the New York Knicks.
Brunson back in, DiVincenzo to the bench. Achiuwa's free throw is good. Off the back of the rim, and then it bounced in. 102-82. Knicks down 20. Halliburton in the front court. Hands to Toppin. Drives on Achiuwa. Is cut off. Up top pass for Turner. And now Halliburton. Around the Turner screen. Left side. 3-pointer. Rattles out. Hartenstein the rebound. And quick outlet to Brunson. Here come the Knicks. Brunson on the left side. In and out dribble against Nembhard. Cut off on the baseline. Now Brunson wants to back in against Andrew Nembhard. On the block. Steps through, flips it up, and gets the roll, and the Knicks are down 102-84.
No such thing as an easy bastard tonight for the New York Knicks.
23 for Brunson, top and drives, and slams it down on Hartenstein.
Man, not Obi Toppin turning moments of a regulation ball game in the postseason into a dunk contest. Yikes.
Brunson is fouled and grabbed by Nembhard, 35 feet away from the basket. Pacers are in the penalty, so Brunson will go to the line. 4th foul against Andrew Nembhard. Obi Toppin taking that right at his former teammate and just elevated, throwing it down with the left hand.
The son of Dunker's delight indeed.
Apple did not fall far from the tree. 104-84, 6:41 to go, fourth quarter. Brunson's free throw is good. The crowd is chanting Obi Toppin's name. Ben Shepard to the bench for Indy, replaced by Aaron Nesmith. So the Knicks right now have Brunson, McBride, Burks, Achiuwa, and Hartenstein on the floor. Looking for one final push to try to get back in this game. Brunson's second free throw is good. 104-86 as the Pacers lead. 6:40 left in the fourth. Burks guarding Nembhard. Brings it left side. Towards the baseline. Up top. Toppin. Thought about the 3. Gives it back to Nembhard. Driving the lane. Up top. Turner. Drives around Hartenstein. Kicks it out. Nembhard lines up an open left side 3 and knocks it down. Andrew Nembhard's got 15 points.
And the three-point shooting has really turned around for the Pacers. They've knocked down 9 after a really cold start from deep to the ball game.
Brunson just inside midcourt, bounce pass left wing McBride. Jab step drives against Halliburton, cross-court pass for Burks. Right corner three-pointer is good for Alec Burks.
Picks that basketball up off of the ground as the pass is a little wild from McBride. What tremendous focus to get that corner three to go.
McBride's pass hit the bottom of the net as it was a cross-court pass from a tough angle. 107-89. Halliburton step back, right side three, front rim no good. Hartenstein the rebound, outlet to Brunson. 5:44 to go in the fourth. Knicks down 18. Brunson guarded by Neesmith around a Hartenstein screen, pounding it with the left hand. Backs it out behind the arc. Crosses over between the legs. Tries to split through. Flips it up. No good off the glass. Outlet pass from Toppin to Halliburton, who kicked it to Neesmith. Driving, out of control, still finishes, plus the foul.
Got to make a decision on that one if you're approaching the two. Or you get out of the way or you don't give up a layup. All right, we're now inside the 6-minute mark. Pat, and I know that this is an agonizing decision if you're head coach Tom Thibodeau, but you're trying to win a Game 7 on Sunday. That's a short turnaround. You got to call it, in my mind.
109-89, 5:23 to go. Neesmith, that was his fourth field goal of the game. His first free throw attempt is up and no good. Turner back taps it to Neesmith. Toppin has it left wing. Pacers will run some more clock here. That's their 14th offensive rebound, for now leading to 21 second chance points. Halliburton up top. Turner straight on three. Front rim. Brunson the rebound. 5:05 left. Knicks down by 20. Burks towards the foul line. Euro step. Blocked out of bounds by Halliburton. Exactly 5 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. 109-89 Pacers.
Tom Thibodeau doesn't seem to be looking toward his bench at all.
Arms crossed. Tom Thibodeau in front of the scorer's table, peering in at the action. McBride lob pass up top for Hartenstein, who hands to Brunson. Brunson uses the Hartenstein screen, brings it left side, step back, three-pointer is good. 109-92. 4:45 to go in the fourth.
The Knicks have been able to manage to find ways to score, but they have been unable to come up with stops in this one.
4:38 to go. Nembhard guarded by Burks. Flips the pass over to Turner. Left wing Toppin. Drives baseline. Toppin reverse jam. With the left hand is good. 111-92. Brunson across the midcourt line finds McBride. Dribbles through two defenders to Hartenstein, right back to McBride, brings it right corner. Little pitch and catch again with Hartenstein, who has it on the right wing. Hartenstein hands to Brunson right wing. He's double-teamed and bottled up in the corner. 1 second to shoot. Brunson throws it up, and it rattles home. A contested three-pointer from the corner for Jalen Brunson.
I understand why this is agonizing for head coach Tom Thibodeau with Jalen Brunson knocking down shots like that. But again, it's not the offense, it's the defense.
111-95. Shake Milton is at the scorer's table for the Knicks. Here's Halliburton driving, kicking out. Toppin fakes the left side three. Finds Turner inside for an uncontested two-handed jam. 113-95. 3:39 to go. Timeout, Tom Thibodeau.
Shake Milton was at the scorer's table. I'm curious if others will follow that'll be asked to take off their warm-up and go out into action over the next 3:39 of this ball game, as this thing does not look like it's going to turn around tonight for the Knicks.
Pacers are shooting 55% from the field, also heating up from downtown here in the fourth quarter, and they lead by 18 points with 3:39 to play at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues after this timeout.
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window & Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window and doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window & Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window & Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100, A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window & Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn or call 718-WINDOWS.
New York Presbyterian gives you the healthcare choices you want.
like over 450 locations in Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, and Westchester. Virtual care that lets you connect with us digitally. World-class doctors from Columbia and Weill Cornell Medicine, and Health Matters, an online source for the latest health and wellness topics and tips. Experience extraordinary health care when and where you need it. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian. Restrictions apply.
NBA fans looking for infusion care that puts you first? ThriveWell Infusion specializes in delivering cutting-edge therapies for rare diseases and autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and multiple sclerosis. Trusted by physicians across specialties, ThriveWell offers private, state-of-the-art infusion suites and slam-dunk treatment from their highly trained medical team. From New York to New Jersey and across Long Island, experience care, comfort, convenience, and compassion like never before at a ThriveWell location near you. Find out more at ThriveWellInfusion.com. ThriveWell, saving lives, drip by drip.
Spectrum One is a big deal. You get Spectrum Internet with the most reliable internet speeds, free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and privacy, and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line with nationwide 5G included, all while saving big. For the big speed, big reliability, and big savings you want, get Spectrum One. Just $49.99 a month for 12 months. Visit spectrum.com/big deal for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Service not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Back here in Indiana, 3:39 to go in the fourth quarter. Pacers lead the Knicks 113-95. Monica, Knicks PR announcing that Josh Hart is out for the remainder of the game, dealing with abdominal soreness.
I don't know that I've ever seen anything like this. A true war of attrition as the Knicks roster continues to absorb blow after blow. Hopefully, whatever it is with Josh Hart can get rectified by 3:30 on Sunday. But based on what we've seen from him, you can only be cautiously optimistic.
3:39 to go. Tom Thibodeau starting to empty his bench. Shake Milton and Jericho Sims have come on. Deuce McBride and Alec Burks remain in the game. And now they do need a fifth, and it will be Precious Achua joining them. Monica, Knicks offense in this fourth quarter hasn't been bad, shooting 46%. They're 3 for 5 from downtown, but they're essentially trading baskets. The Pacers are shooting 61% from the field in this final quarter.
It has been an offensive avalanche by the Pacers.
3.5 to go. Knicks down 18. Burks pulls up for 3, straight on. Back of the rim, no good. Top of the backboard, hits the shot clock, out of bounds. Brunson, DiVincenzo, Hartenstein on the bench. Rick Carlisle calls timeout with 3:25 to go. That's a use or lose a timeout.
Right, and it looked, as he was calling that timeout, it looked like some of his reserves were moving from the back of the bench as well.
They have a quick turnaround, too.
They do have a quick turnaround. They have more bodies available, more rotation bodies available, I should clarify, than the Knicks, for sure.
So Hart out for the remainder of the game. Obviously, the Knicks, since the third quarter of game number 2, have been playing without OG Anunoby. Never mind the fact that Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle and Bojan Bogdanovic have already also been lost for the season.
I'm not sure who you could go to make up for the absence of Josh Hart, if that is something that lingers. I'm going to knock on wood and think positively, though, but Tom Thibodeau, you got to give him and his staff credit. They have squeezed everything that they could out of this team to this point.
Let's pause 10 seconds to allow stations to identify themselves on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
This is your radio home for New York Knicks basketball. This is 98.7 ESPN, WEPN-FM, New York.
Pat O'Keefe and Monica McNutt with you. Friday night in Indianapolis. Pacers lead the Knicks 113-95. 3:25 to go. Tom Thibodeau sending Daquan Jeffries into the game. And he replaces Deuce McBride. Pacers ball as Rick Carlisle has also started to empty his bench. Jalen Smith former lottery pick out of the University of Maryland. Hands the ball to Kendall Brown, who drives and misses inside. Achua grabs the rebound. Eurostep blocked from behind by Jackson. Tapped out to Burks on the left wing with 3 minutes to play. Burks one-on-one with the former Doug McDermott. Gets it back down the lane, switches to the left hand. Basket is good, plus the foul.
Tough basket by Alec Burks. And we talked about him being one of the few Knicks that was able to create off of dribble penetration tonight. That continues as this game is now under 3 minutes to go with a three-point play opportunity.
Foul on Isaiah Jackson. Mamadi Diakite sees action as well for the third consecutive game, replacing Precious Achua. So for the Knicks, it's Burks, Milton, Sims, Jeffries, and Diakite. Burks, so far tonight with 8 points in 22 minutes. Free throw is good. It's 113-98. Knicks down by 15 with 2:53 to go in the fourth.
I don't think anybody else on the bench is dressed to get Burks off the floor, as he's had to play important minutes in the last few games.
Jalen Smith dropped the ball underneath, cutting for the basket. Shake Milton handling for the Knicks. Picked up by Shepard in the front court, gives to Sims, top of the arc. Sims, one dribble, hands to Burks. Burks one-on-one with Brown. Now Milton drives. Floater in the paint, no good. Sims back taps the rebound. It's taken by Brown. Brown chased from behind by Milton. Nice finish inside off the glass for Kendall Brown, the second-year man out of Baylor. 115-98. Here's Burks around the Sims screen. His three-pointer is blocked by Jackson. Tapped by Shepard to Smith. 2:10 to go here in the fourth. Shepard up top for McDermott. Right wing pass Smith. Smith hands the ball to Shepard, who tries to drive on Jeffries. Layup inside, no good, but he's fouled by Diakite.
A really tough take there by Ben Shepard. Just a lot of movement by this Pacers offense, even though this is their reserves. Handoffs, cuts, a lot of action, making this Knicks defense have to really, really communicate.
Shepard's first free throw is no good off the back of the rim. Game 7. Knicks and Pacers, Madison Square Garden, Sunday afternoon at 3:30.
Throughout this series, the home teams have been able to protect home court, and so that is, of course, reason for optimism if you're the New York Knicks. And, of course, the big piece folks are going to be waiting to find out about is the abdominal injury that Josh Hart suffered.
Shepard hits the second free throw. Diakite lines up a three-pointer, comes up short from the left side. Jackson corrals the rebound. Josh Hart tonight played 31 minutes, most of them compromised as he suffered that abdominal injury pretty early on in the first quarter. McDermott drives, fallback blocked by Jeffries. Rebound grabbed by Sims. Minute 25 to go here in the fourth quarter of Game 6. And you're right, Alec Burks, the lone rotation player, still out there as he's fouled on the perimeter by Kendall Brown because Tom Thibodeau doesn't have a fifth non-rotation player to put on the floor.
Yeah, this is a really, really tough spot for the Knicks. I know some fans felt like their backs were against the wall going up to Game 5, going up prior to Game 5, but man, I just can't say enough that you hope that whatever it is that Josh Hart has suffered is a temporary tweak, that between now and Sunday afternoon, he can get back to, you'll take 80% of himself.
Jarris Walker, rookie out of Houston, replaces Ben Shepard. Alec Burks hits both free throws. Once again, he's in double figures now with 11 points. 116-100 Pacers, just over a minute to go here in the fourth quarter. Brown, left wing pass for Smith. Hands to McDermott, and it is knocked into the backcourt. McDermott recovers. 5 seconds to shoot. Brown cut off by Sims. Changes direction. Flips to the left hand. No good. Diakite the rebound. He pushes it up court. Diakite, center of the court. Right wing finds Jeffries for three, and he knocks that down. Nice looking shot for Daquan Jeffries as the Knicks trail by 13.
And a terrific read by Diakite. Under control, makes a great pass.
Crowd here in Indianapolis starts to rise to its feet. Final 35 seconds. Knicks fans certainly hoping that this is the last time the home crowd in Indy sees this team this season. Pacers have returned to the playoffs as they take a shot clock violation now with 21 seconds to play and a 13-point lead. Shake Milton brings it across the timeline, and he will dribble out the clock. So Knicks Pacers, a lot of history in this rivalry, a lot of 7-game series between these two teams, a lot of Game 7s at Madison Square Garden. We're going to have another one on Sunday afternoon as the Pacers win this one to stay alive, 116-103.
Home court has been the key throughout this series, and will the Garden be alive? I have no doubt about it. Now, who all will be available for the Knicks is a question that remains to be seen just a bit, but you know that this team is going to do the best they can to hopefully advance to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Pacers keep their season alive. Again, the final score from Gainbridge Fieldhouse in game number 6. Indiana 116 and the Knicks 103. Post-game show coming up with Dan Grossa. You're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
Now, it all started on a rainy Sunday, and I was enjoying a peaceful drive before the arrival of the in-laws when...
It's a disaster. That sneaky dog of yours got up on the counter and gobbled up the cake.
So I can pick up...
It's gotta be from the place off Highway 9. Hurry, they're almost here.
Luckily, my Nissan Altima was built to handle the unexpected. With available intelligent all-wheel drive, I was able to save the day without a slip-up.
You made it.
Piece of cake.
Drive the Nissan Altima. Now get a low $209 per month lease for 36 months on the 2024 Nissan Altima. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. Intelligent all-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions. Well-qualified lessees 2024 Altima SV front-wheel drive. $4049 initial payment excludes tax, title, license, and $695 acquisition fee. Includes $625 manufacturer's rebate applied to $209 per month lease. Disposition fee due at lease in. Take from new dealer stock. Call 1-888-858-8319 for offer details. N6324.
The NBA playoffs are here, and the New York Knicks are in. It's time to hit the court with BetMGM, an authorized betting partner of the NBA. Download the BetMGM app and make every playoff game, every vital play mean more than ever. Find out why basketball fans love BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Madison Square Garden and the New York Knicks. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years or older to wager and physically present in New York or New Jersey only. Gambling problem in New York? Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. In New Jersey, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
Welcome to the New York Knicks post-game show. Now here's Dan Grossa.
And we welcome into the New York Knicks post-game show. Dan Grossa with it. Well, the Knickerbockers came into tonight a win away from their first trip to the conference finals in 24 years. However, they found themselves in a 10-point hole at halftime. Pacers would grow that lead to as much as 18 in the third quarter, and they would cruise to a 116-103 victory. The home team improves to 6-0 in this series as the Pacers force a trip back to New York for a Game 7, which will happen at 3:30 at Madison Square Garden on Sunday. A lot to break down. Let's do it now with the guys who were on the call for today's game, Pat O'Keefe and Monica McNutt. And Monica, it seemed like we were talking about this in the pregame show, trying to diagnose the ebbs and flows from one game to the next and the impossibility of trying to do just that. But the one thing that is consistent through 6 games, it's good if you're the home team, I guess.
Yeah, that's the one thing, Dan. And the Knicks obviously have the opportunity to return home to close this thing out in 7 games, hopefully. But I think more than the home court advantage, people are going to be watching and wondering what's going on with Josh Hart after leaving the game with an abdominal injury.
You're absolutely right about that, and we don't know the severity. I don't know how much Tom Thibodeau is going to tell us when he meets the media here, but, you know, it's interesting. All the key factors that led to that Knicks lopsided win in Game 5, points in the paint, rebounding, even the bench production, all that stuff tonight was in favor of the Indiana Pacers and by a pretty wide margin as well.
I would agree. And, look, I think it may be a little understated on my part, certainly, how good the Pacers have been here at home. I just thought that there was a level of grit and maturity about the Knicks that would lead them to get this done tonight. But the Pacers have been great at home. This is where they play their most confident basketball, and they showed us that again tonight. Now, to the conversation that we started with, Dan, they got to pack this with them and take it on the road to the Garden.
Absolutely. And, Monica, great stuff from you. I know you got to run and do TV, so we'll pick up our conversation again on Sunday afternoon. And, Pat, you know, you think about where the Knicks were, and I thought at least in the first half, you know, the crowd was into this game early. Indiana led a little bit of a jump, but I thought the Knicks did a good job weathering that first storm, and really, I thought for the better part of the first half, probably hung in there as well. And even though they were down by 10 at halftime, it felt like they were maybe a little bit closer than the scoreboard indicated, but second half, a different story, got away from them.
Yeah, but it's interesting because the second half begins, the Knicks are down by 10. They had that technical free throw resulting from the Andrew Nembhard tech going off the court at the end of the second quarter. They hit that, then they hit back-to-back buckets, and Rick Carlisle called a very early timeout. And we've seen Tom Thibodeau call early timeouts at the beginning of quarters when he doesn't like the way his team has come out, but 38 seconds have gone by. Rick Carlisle called a timeout. The Knicks at that point were on an 8-0 run, and they were back to within 5. And then, again, Nembhard hit a three-pointer from the left side as the shot clock was expiring. Tyrese Halliburton on the next possession hit another three-pointer. So all of a sudden, the Knicks, after cutting the deficit to 5, they were back down by 11, and they were never able to really get their footing from there. From that point on, the teams, and Monica mentioned this several times, the teams traded baskets down the stretch. The Knicks did not have that bad of an offensive game today. They hit 13 three-pointers. They were 38% from downtown. The final shooting numbers weren't great, just 43.9%. But the problem was, after they got down by 11 or 13 or 15 points in that second half, the teams were trading baskets. And when you have a deficit to overcome, you can't trade baskets with the opposition.
No, you're absolutely right about that. You got to get stops, and then you got to convert down the other end of the floor. They were not able to do that. And look, good balance tonight from the Pacers. They put 6 guys in double figures in scoring. And, you know, we spend so much time in this series, Pat, talking about Tyrese Halliburton, and he's their go-to guy. But let's give credit where credit's due. Another big night for Pascal Siakam. After all, he's their leading scorer in these playoffs, 25 points tonight, and really just seems like he gets what he wants when it comes to that mid-range game. I mean, that's almost automatic for him in that paint area, as the stats will show.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. Siakam finishes with 25 points, the Pacers' leading scorer again in this game. And in the second and third quarters, that 17-foot range just beyond the foul line, straight on, that was his spot. He kept getting to that spot, and he was money from that spot. And, you know, he's been guarded mostly these last couple of games by Josh Hart. And Hart, in addition to dealing with an abdominal injury for most of this game, also gives up 4 inches in size against Siakam. Hart's a terrific defender. He's a versatile defender. But when Siakam can just shoot the ball over him, there's only so much that he can do. He's been really good in this series. He's been really good in this building, as have all the Pacers. I mean, I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, they actually haven't lost a game here in front of their home fans since March 18th. They're a perfect 6-0 at home during the playoffs. All that being said, Dan, the Knicks also haven't lost at home in this series, and if they just hold serve one more time on Sunday afternoon, they still could be in position to move on to the Eastern Conference Finals.
And conversely, you talk about a Pacers team that so far on the road in these playoffs is just 1-5, and that again goes back to the Knicks. And look, it's impossible, Pat. We have no idea yet about the status of Josh Hart. We'll wait for the coach to speak, and I don't know how forthcoming he's going to be anyway. But here's the bottom line. You go back to the end of the regular season and all the debate as to how you should approach those last couple of games and whether you should try to win out and play hard at the expense of whatever it might be. Well, you did that. You got the 2 seed. Home court advantage for situations like this. You fought for this, you got it. Now take advantage of it coming up in 48 hours.
Well, isn't it funny? Because that was a 2-pronged argument against the Knicks playing out that Game 82 against the Chicago Bulls on that Sunday afternoon at the Garden, a game that the Knicks won in overtime. And that was the last game of the early window that had to be completed. And the scenario was simple. If the Knicks quote-unquote, allowed the Bulls to win that game, which anyone who has ever watched Tom Thibodeau coach should have known that was not even a possibility. But if the Knicks had lost that game, they would have been the number 3 seed and gotten a quote-unquote more favorable matchup. However, that quote-unquote more favorable matchup would have been against this Indiana Pacers team, which doesn't look like a very favorable matchup right now, the way they played here tonight. And then the other thing that winning that game guaranteed, as you pointed out, Dan, was the fact that as the number 2 seed, the Knicks not only would have had home court advantage against whomever they played in the first round, but also home court advantage against whomever they play in the second round. And we're here. Winning that game has allowed the Knicks to come back to Madison Square Garden and host this crucial Game 7 on Sunday afternoon.
And it's funny because it's the same amount of turnaround from Game 3 to Game 4, and we know that Game 4 didn't work out well for the Knicks. Maybe some tired legs last Sunday afternoon in Indianapolis. However, this time, Game 7, it'll be at the Garden. The crowd will be there. The place will be buzzing, and hopefully it'll provide much-needed jolt for this basketball team here, which, let's face it, is the last stand potentially for both of these clubs. So that is the 2 best words in sports, Game 7. We have another one coming up on Sunday afternoon. Pat, safe travels back, my friend, and we will do it all again at 3:30 on Sunday.
Before we know it, we'll be speaking again. Thanks, Dan.
Absolutely. Good job, buddy. There's Pat O'Keefe and Monica McNutt. Had the call of tonight's game, a 116-103 Pacers victory over the New York Knicks. They force a Game 7, which will be Sunday afternoon at 3:30 at MSG. It's time now for the Knicks Out-of-Town scoreboard, which is driven by Nissan. And for this scoreboard, we'll keep it MSG-centric, but we'll give some credit to the hockey team that calls MSG home, with the New York Rangers advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals. They now know who their opponent will be in the conference final. That will be the Florida Panthers, who defeated the Bruins tonight by a score of 2-1 in Boston in a goal in the final minute of regulation to win that series in 6 games. So it will be the Rangers and the Panthers in the Eastern Conference Finals, with game number 1 at MSG coming up on Wednesday night. And that was the Knicks Out-of-Town scoreboard, driven by Nissan. You deserve a car that thrills you. Nissan's got an exciting full line that'll put goosebumps on your goosebumps. Experience the thrill for yourself. Shop your local Nissan store, nissanusa.com. today. A lot more for us to do here on the New York Knicks post-game show. When we come back, we'll take a listen to the highlights as to how this one all went down. We'll get some player reaction. We'll hear from the coach, Tom Thibodeau, and we'll take a peek at the NBA out-of-town scoreboard here for the weekend in the postseason. New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network continues right after this timeout.
It's the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event, so give your friends something to look at, like a B&B with an ocean view, an endless field of wildflowers, or a sunset that needs no filter. Make this a summer to share and save with a capable Kia SUV or powerful sedan. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Sale applies to purchase of specially tagged 2024 vehicles only. Quantities are limited. Must take delivery by 7/8/24.
Knicks fans, when deciding to take a charter bus, there's only one choice. That's Best Trails and Travel, New York City's premier charter bus company. Best Trails and Travel has the highest level of charter bus service in New York City and has been servicing New York's leading corporations, professional sports teams, and private individuals for over 25 years. They offer premium customer service and the newest fleet of buses in the industry. Whether you're traveling with family, friends, or colleagues, Best Trails and Travel guarantees you the ultimate travel experience. Visit them at besttrailstravel.com or call them at 212-206-6974.
Getting engaged will be one of the most exciting times of your life, and the winning team at London Jewelers is there to help you pop the question. The cutting-edge technology and trained professionals at London Jewelers can help you select a ring from their 2 by London collection or design the absolute perfect ring at any budget. So whether you're starting out or starting over, let the engagement experts at London Jewelers help you. Visit London Jewelers at any of their 7 locations, including Americana Manhasset and the Mall at Short Hills.
Get a double-digit bonus exclusively for Knicks fans from Food Bazaar Supermarket. Take $10 off your order of $50 or more when you shop online at shop.foodbazaar.com. Plus, your first delivery is free. Go to shop.foodbazaar.com and use promo code FOODSAVE10 for the largest selection of international foods and all-star lineup of the freshest meat, seafood, and produce. And $10 off your first order of $50. Use promo code FOODSAVE10 at shop.foodbazaar.com.
Dan Grasso back on the New York Knicks post-game show after the Pacers defeat the Knicks 116-103 to even up the best of 7 at 3 games apiece. Game 7 back at the Garden coming up Sunday afternoon at 3:30. Let's take a listen to the highlights as to how this one all went down. This is the Knicks' best parts of the game, brought to you by the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association. No OG Anunoby once again for the Knicks, still nursing that hamstring injury, so Deuce McBride in the starting lineup. Home team coming into this one 5-0 so far in this series. Would the Knicks be able to put a dent into that run? And so far, the team that really wins the rebounding battle in these playoffs, a lopsided advantage. How about to the tune of a 50-13 record in the NBA thus far? We'll see how all those things play themselves out. Well, we mentioned Deuce McBride getting another start in the first 5 for Tom Thibodeau's team, and right off the bat, he was feeling it from downtown.
Here's McBride now working from the top of the arc, gets open, fires a 3, knocks it down, and we're tied at 7.
Early on, the Pacers' strategy is very clear. No, somebody other than Jalen Brunson is going to have to beat us.
And that was only one of the first threes that either team made, because both teams really struggled early on, combined 2 for 9 from beyond the arc as they just traded baskets a little bit early. So if the 3 isn't working, Deuce said, well, you know what, let me attack the hoop.
MR drives right at DiVincenzo, crossover dribble blocked by Achua against the backboard. Recovered by Siakam. His pass is deflected and taken by Achua. Here come the Knicks. McBride on the left side. Gets by the defender, coast to coast. Deuce McBride lays it in, and the Knicks lead 17-15.
First lead of the game for the Knickerbockers. How about that? Deuce with 11 points so far. 11 of the 17 Knick points belong to the guard from West Virginia. Then right around that time, it's a trend started to develop for the Knicks, and it wasn't a positive one because Josh Hart, you could see on the TV, was really in agony, kind of hunched over, favoring his stomach area there with the abdominal. Had to come out of the game temporarily, get some treatment on the sidelines, but then would come back in the game after a few minutes. And this would continue pretty much at least for the first 3 quarters, the way things were developing before he retreated to the locker room and was ruled out the rest of the game in the 4th quarter. However, the Knicks, though, able to hang around, not allow the Indiana crowd to get going into this game. And before Josh Hart, though, would exit for good, well, his hustle was on full display, and it led to a Knicks trifecta.
Hart to the floor, trying to recover, kicks it out to DiVincenzo. His 3 is good from the right corner. What a heads-up play by Josh Hart.
Dante DiVincenzo lives by shooters shoot to get hot and shooters shoot to stay hot.
25-20, Knicks by 5.
And that was essentially the Josh Hart experience right there. Getting dirty, going down, making plays happen, and it leads to good things for the Knicks. So 25-20, and the Knicks have their biggest lead right there of the game at 5 points. And they would end that first quarter with a 1-point advantage over Indiana, 30-29. Each team had the biggest lead of 5 in the opening 12 minutes. Early on in the second, team still back and forth down the floor, trading baskets, and it was a former Knick showing off his athleticism once again.
Burke, hesitation, dribble, floater, no good. Hartenstein, the back tap. DiVincenzo can't get there. McConnell ahead for top, and look out. Slams it down with the right hand. Pacers on top, 35-33.
7 off the bench for Obi, tied for a team high early on in the second quarter. But the Knicks would not go away. They would hang around, and Dante DiVincenzo, when he wasn't launching threes, well, he was spinning and getting to the tin.
DiVincenzo spin move around Turner, off the glass, plus the foul.
Good job by DiVincenzo there. Wouldn't be able to convert the free throw, but still gave the Knicks a 1-point lead. He had 12 points early on there in the second quarter. Then the Knicks go cold a little bit offensively, and Indiana goes on a run to really stretch this lead. As a matter of fact, how about a 13-2 run? They would find themselves up close to double digits, and Miles Turner with an exclamation point to announce that Indiana was taking control of this game.
Halliburton guarded by Hartenstein on a switch. They dump it inside to Siakam again. Here comes Turner, throwing it down. A thunderous jam cutting down the lane. Knicks trail by 9.
They trail by 9, and they would hang around that area once we got to the dressing room for halftime. 61-51 would be the halftime score, with the Pacers on top of the New York Knicks. But coming out of the locker room to start the third quarter, Knicks had some life. They had some burst. How about a 5-0 run with Deuce McBride leading the way?
DiVincenzo on the right side. Crossover dribble. Now takes it to the basket on Neesmith. Bounce pass out left wing. McBride. High post Hartenstein. McBride gets it back. Cuts to the basket. Lefty layup is good. And the Knicks back within 5.
Still very much a game. It's 61-56. Rick Carlisle wants to talk things over. That took less than a minute for the Knicks to cut that deficit in half. However, it took Indiana about 60 seconds to bring that lead back up to double figures, thanks to back-to-back threes with Tyrese Halliburton getting involved offensively.
It's tapped into the backcourt where it's recovered by Turner. 12 seconds to shoot. Halliburton lines up a deep left side three. That's good. And the Pacers are back on top by 11.
And that was kind of it right there. The Knicks really wouldn't get any closer the rest of the way, as the Pacers really had a comfortable advantage the rest of that third quarter and would continue to grow it even into the fourth. And you heard Halliburton there on the three. He was feeling it. How about a long two for a step back to give the Pacers a new biggest lead in the third?
Siakam down the lane, kicks it back up top for Halliburton. Halliburton uses the Siakam screen. McBride guarding Halliburton. Step back three. It's a long two-pointer for Tyrese Halliburton. Pacers lead by 17 points. It's 81-64.
Yeah, they would make that lead 18 before the quarter was through. At the end of three, the Pacers would take a 13-point edge into the fourth at 88-75. As we said, Knicks in a little bit of a hole, really couldn't get anything closer, and the Pacers, to begin that fourth quarter, got themselves a new biggest advantage.
Hartenstein drives the lane, blocked by Turner, saved into the hands of McConnell. Blocked that one against the backboard. McConnell sees an opening, drives, kicks it to Nembhard. His three is good from the right corner. It's a 20-point Pacers lead. Timeout, Knicks.
Yeah, a little over 8 minutes left in the game, an 11-4 run to start the fourth quarter. Pacers up by 20, and that was pretty much going to be it for the Knicks tonight. The question was only how bad would the final deficit be, and would they be able to at least show some positive streaks going into Sunday's Game 7. Well, Jalen Brunson got off to a little bit of a slow start tonight, but certainly after halftime looked like the Brunson of old.
Hartenstein hands to Brunson right wing. He's double-teamed and bottled up in the corner. 1 second to shoot. Brunson throws it up, and it rattles home. A contested three-pointer from the corner for Jalen Brunson.
Brunson finished with 31. He had 26 after halftime, so the Knicks still down a considerable amount. And Miles Turner, we heard from him earlier with that big thunderous dunk, had one more for good measure.
Here's Halliburton driving, kicking out. Toppin fakes the left side three. Finds Turner inside for an uncontested two-handed jam. 113-95.
And the Pacers would go on to win this one 116-103. We've got a Game 7 coming up Sunday afternoon at 3:30 at MSG. And that was the Knicks' best parts of the game, brought to you by the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association, painting and repairing bridges and steel structures around New York for over 50 years. It's time now for tonight's Thriving Player, brought to you by ThriveWell Infusion. We'll go ahead and give it to Pascal Siakam. He's Indiana's leading scorer in these playoffs. He had 25 tonight to lead everybody in the Pacers. 7 rebounds, 5 assists as well. So the former world champion with the Toronto Raptors is your Thriving Player of the game, brought to you by ThriveWell Infusion, New York's premier infusion and injection center, saving lives drip by drip. Still more to do here on the New York Knicks post-game show. When we come back, we'll get the thoughts of the coach. Hear what Tom Thibodeau has to say after his team's Game 6 defeat. Game 7 coming up Sunday at 3:30 at MSG. You're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
John, this is Celeste from Richmond Hill. I want a Kia.
Hey, John, this is Quan from Flushing. I want a Kia.
Hey, John, this is David from Jamaica. I want a Kia.
Hi, I'm John Stark. Our all-star team will always put your needs first, making sure you will always get a slam-dunk deal here at John Stark Kia.
Lease a Kia EV6 for $299 a month with zero down payment. $949 due at signing. No security deposit required. 10K miles per year. Excludes tax, title, and MP fees. Expires June 3rd.
John Stark Kia. Stand tall.
Have you ever driven across the Whitestone Bridge and wondered who could possibly paint this? The New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association. That's who. With our local 806 partners, members of the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association work hard to ensure New York City's bridges, roads, and rails are safe, beautiful, and ready for the future. You've seen our work. The New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association partnered with the New York Department of Transportation on the iconic Brooklyn Bridge, applying new coatings seen by thousands of people and captured in selfies every day. That's just one of the many pieces of iconic steel structures that the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association has helped revitalize. Every day you see subway stops, bridges, highway ramps, and steel structures restored and painted by us. We're the New York Structural Steel Painting Contractors Association, adding a little color to the Big Apple. To learn more about our association and career opportunities, visit nySSPCA.net.
Getting engaged will be one of the most exciting times of your life, and the winning team at London Jewelers is there to help you pop the question. The cutting-edge technology and trained professionals at London Jewelers can help you select a ring from their 2 by London collection or design the absolute perfect ring at any budget. So whether you're starting out or starting over, let the engagement experts at London Jewelers help you. Visit London Jewelers at any of their 7 locations, including Americana Manhasset and the Mall at Short Hills.
Dan Graca back on the New York Knicks post-game show after the Pacers force a Game 7. They defeat the Knicks 116-103. The home team is now 6-0 in this best of 7. It's time now for the Knicks out-of-town scoreboard, which is driven by Nissan. No other games around the NBA tonight, but still 2 other series to sort out in the Western Conference, which will happen this weekend. Tomorrow, we got a game number 6 between Oklahoma City and Dallas. That'll be an 8 o'clock tip. The Mavericks have a 3-2 lead. However, the road team has won the last 2 games in that series. And Game 7 on Sunday night at 8 between Minnesota and Denver, with the series tied at 3 games apiece. Interesting, the road team won the first 4 games in that series, but it's the home team that has held serve in the last 2 contests. And that was the Knicks out-of-town scoreboard driven by Nissan. You deserve a car that thrills you, and Nissan's got an exciting full line that'll put goosebumps on your goosebumps. Experience the thrill for yourself. Shop your local Nissan store and NissanUSA.com today. Now, when we return here on the New York Knicks postgame show, we will indeed hear from the head coach, Tom Thibodeau, after his team comes up short tonight against the Indiana Pacers. You're listening to New York Knicks basketball on ESPN New York and the MSG Radio Network.
NBA fans, looking for infusion care that puts you first? ThriveWell Infusion specializes in delivering cutting-edge therapies for rare diseases and autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and multiple sclerosis. Trusted by physicians across specialties, ThriveWell offers private, state-of-the-art infusion suites and slam-dunk treatment from their highly trained medical team. From New York to New Jersey and across Long Island, experience care, comfort, convenience, and compassion like never before at a ThriveWell location near you. Find out more at ThriveWellInfusion.com. ThriveWell, saving lives, drip by drip.
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window & Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window and doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window & Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window & Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100, A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window & Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn, or call 718-WINDOWS.
Have you overcome some challenges in your life? Use your life experience to supervise and support young people in detention. Become a youth development specialist. It's a union job with a $51,000 starting salary, and you'll be making a positive impact on the lives of young New Yorkers. NYC residency not required. Apply to become a youth development specialist today at nyc.gov/YDS. That's nyc.gov/YDS.
Grand Marnier is an award-winning blend of fine cognac and orange liqueur. It's made for those who live to step outside the box, who like to put a twist on the traditional, and believe in a world that's not just good, but grand. Visit GrandMarnier.com to learn how to take cocktails from ordinary to extraordinary and live grand. Grand Marnier liqueur, 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Copyright 2022, Campari America, New York, New York. Drink with style. Always drink responsibly.
Dan Graca back on the New York Knicks post-game show after Indiana forces a game number 7. They defeat the Knicks 116-103. It's time now to get the thoughts of the head coach. Here's Tom Thibodeau moments ago out in Indiana.
Tom, just what you saw, I know you talked about focus on this night. It seemed like some things kind of...
I thought we started the game well.
and we got up 5. Then we didn't close out the first quarter well. Didn't close out the second quarter well. Then we had a surge to start the third, cut it to 5. Then two loose balls that they recovered and turned it into 2 threes. So, we're going to have to play a lot better.
Like Josh tried to get it going.
Yeah. We'll see.
Do you know what the injury is?
I don't.
What were they doing on the boards tonight that helped them be so
well, they went hard. We knew they would, coming off. So, and that's what it's about.
Coach, defensively, what was the biggest issue tonight?
Just finishing, So the initial part at times was good, but you got to make a second and third effort, keep the ball out of the paint, then get to bodies, and then finishing our defense has to be better.
A rough start for Jalen. Obviously, just what did you see from his standpoint?
Yeah, you don't get. He's going to work the game. He'll figure it out, and there was a physicality to the game, which is fine. We knew that would be there. And then I thought in the second half he got to everything that he wanted to get to.
Tommy made a switch at one point with Isaiah and Precious on Pascal. Was that in part due to Josh's injury, or was that more of the...
Both. Just different look. And, and we've been doing that, at different times in throughout the series. I don't think you can give them a steady diet of one guy. So just moving it around a little bit. Yeah, I think that, like the force, that you got to be ready for that in a game like this. Back against the wall, you're going to get urgency and desperation, and you got to match that intensity, and you got to keep doing it. And so, like I said, I like the way we started the game, but we didn't sustain it.
Tom, I know the mantra of the team for all year has been next man up, but does there come a point where just the mental strain of having to continually do your job, do somebody else's job, whoever's not job?
This is sort of the nature, of the playoffs. This is what you play for. You love competition. This is it. Hard fought, competitive. Oftentimes it comes down to a hustle play, a loose ball, whatever it might be. And so you're going to get tested physically, mentally, emotionally, and you got to be able to get through all of that. And so whatever it is that we're facing, we can overcome. Just keep battling.
You guys played hard at the end of the regular season to get the 2 seed. Now you have a game 7 at home on Sunday. Just what does that mean to you? Yeah,
I think that, we worked for that. But you still have to make sure you're putting the work in to earn a win. You're not going to win just because you're at home. You have to put the work into it, and we have to play well.
With what you're saying you don't know about, we'll see with Josh Hart. What about OG? Is there like a chance that he plays in Game 7?
Whatever medical says.
What are they saying?
Day to day.
Well, that's the head coach, Tom Thibodeau, and a couple of things there. You heard him end on a question about the status of OG Anunoby, who has missed the last 4 games due to that strained hamstring. Coach said whatever medical says, and medical is currently saying day to day. Now, remember, OG was on the trip with the team, but that could be nothing more than a result of him being around the training staff and being able to get the treatment that he needs, even with the team on the road. So we shall see. The latest report also we got with OG as far as doing court work was very light. So still a lot of time between now and Sunday. You never know what could change, but that's the OG status. And as far as Josh Hart, Knicks ruled him out in the fourth quarter with what they called abdominal soreness, but when Coach was asked about it, he really had no further info as far as the status of Josh for the game on Sunday. Now stick with MSG for pre- and post-game coverage for every game the Knicks play. Watch it on MSG, or you can stream it for free on MSG Plus with an eligible TV subscription. So that is all for tonight. Once again, the final score, it was the Pacers forcing a Game 7. They defeat the Knicks 116 to 103. Tonight's game was a production of the MSG Radio Network. The coordinating producer is Ray Santiago. Our engineer was Alan Benjamin. Studio operations by Julian Kushnick and Chantel Rankin. Tonight's statistician, Ed Riscosi. Broadcast facilities provided by Magic Radio Productions. The announcers heard in this broadcast are approved and are employees of the MSG Radio Network, which is solely responsible for the broadcast content. Don't forget to join us for our next broadcast. That'll come your way on Sunday, May the 19th, when the Knicks take on the Indiana Pacers in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. Pregame beginning at 3 o'clock p.m. The final score, once again, it was the Pacers 116 and the Knicks 103. For Pat O'Keefe and Monica McNutt, this is Dan Grassa saying so long. Have yourselves a great rest of the night, everybody, and we'll talk to you on Sunday afternoon. Be well.
This has been the New York Knicks postgame show on the